Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Day baseball today. Cincinnati Reds are at the St. Louis Cardinals at 1:15. Series tied at 1 after the Cardinals won 3-0 Tuesday. Cincinnati 3 games ahead of the NL wild card. Cleveland Guardians beat the Detroit Tigers 7-5 in 10 innings Tuesday. Cards now trail the Tigers by 5.5 games in the AL Central and 2.5 games back in the third AL wild card, heading into tonight's game at 6:40. Seattle's Cal Raleigh hit his league-leading 55th and 56th home runs last night at Kansas City. Former Buckeye Dom Canzone went 5 for 5 with 3 homers as well. Today, Jordan Laird of the Columbus Dispatch reporting that Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther is pushing for the city to match Franklin County's $500,000 grant to the Columbus Fury of the Pro Volleyball Federation ahead of the upcoming 2026 season. In August, the PVF and Major League Volleyball announced a unified league branded as MLV. Breaking sports news on The Fan, I'm Tyler Danberg.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Wet and Wild Wednesday. Here on Rothman and Ice. Nice little menu for you. Schefter, as usual, 12:30. Robert Carpenter, 1:30. My boy Matt Finkus, 2:30. The former All-American defensive line monster back in the 90s. We'll put you in the hot tub time machine today. Got my man Dave Biddle to my right. Got TLC behind the glass. Boys, how we feeling?
Feeling good, Anthony. How about yourself?
Outstanding. Nice summer week we got brewing here today. I like it.
Yeah, we had a nice little cool fall going there for a while, at least late summer, however you want to look at it. And then, last week and this week, we're back to a blazing summer.
You and I were down there on Saturday. It felt to me like it was a Texas crowd, meaning the amount of people that were down there Saturday after we got off the air on the tailgate, I thought was an enormous amount of people. I thought they picked up the city of Athens and moved it here.
They did. I mean, it's pretty much what happened because you had a lot of OU fans who didn't even really care about football, like my daughter, who grew up a Buckeye fan. I told her there's no conflict of interest. So she was there. My wife was there decked out in scarlet and gray. Next to her was my daughter in green and white. But you're right. We saw just an absolute ton of Bobcat fans there. So that was cool, and OU fans were feeling good. My daughter's texting me like, ooh, we're making it closer than you thought. I'm like, quote, we? I'm like, girl, first of all, I'm paying your way down there. Second of all, like, you grew up a Buckeye. No, but it was a good showing for OU, and then Ohio State was able to pull away. So I think everybody ended up pretty happy.
That's probably right. I said it on the show that the the Bobcat alum that grew up the Buckeye fan, or even the current Bobcat that grew up a Buckeye fan, the easy out is, well, they're not going to win anyway, so why should I put any real emotion into it? I may as well just root for the Buckeyes because I don't want to spoil their season. And my contention to Bobcat fan would be, you get one shot at this. You're not rooting for your team? Like, it's weird to me. It's happened with Bowling Green. It's happened with Miami. It's happened with Toledo. It's happened with other teams in Ohio that Ohio State has played. And I've been in Columbus for so long. I get it. I get why there's that just at birth kind of feel for Ohio State. But your school, I would think you'd have that 4-year pride of, you know what? I secretly want them to win. But I don't sense that for some reason. Do you?
Well, I'll take Scotty Vegas, for example. He's an Ohio U graduate, but I don't think they like Ohio U, either OU or Ohio University or just Ohio. So let's go with Ohio University. So somebody like Scotty, who grew up a Buckeye fan, is still a huge Buckeye fan, but went to Ohio University, wants them to do well, took a lot of pride when their basketball team went to the Sweet 16, I think in 2012. And there was another year they, had a good showing in the NCAA tournament. But Of course,
Trent years.
But a year or a game like that, I think if you're Scotty, he said it best. Like, he wanted Ohio State to win because there was so much more to lose, but he wanted Ohio to keep it close for a while, and that's exactly what happened. So I think if you have dual allegiances, I think it worked out quite well for you because, your Bobcats didn't get embarrassed. They showed why they're the defending MAC champs and have another really, really, really good opportunity to win the MAC. And then now the Buckeyes are #1 in the country. They have I believe they still have the lowest betting odds. Yeah, they do. I think they're tied with Penn State, and then Georgia's right behind them. So I think it worked out well, like I said, for both sides.
Yeah, and it worked out for both sides. If you wanted the Buckeyes to win and you took the Bobcats with the 28.5, that worked out pretty nicely for you, too.
Yeah.
By a half a point.
Yes.
You're our resident Bengal backer here, so I want to get your view on this. Rating the Joe Burrow injury. Let's tackle it first this way. Are you playing the blame game, or is this just football? Because the other day, I'll give you mine first, and then you can formulate where you want to go with this. There are injuries that happen because of football, and then there's history that goes into something where you feel like that this was destined to happen again. But when I look at Amarius Mims and Dylan Fairchild, he's a rookie, right?
Third-round pick.
Karras and Reisner, who they signed.
Yeah, Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this play to me, this specific play, if you didn't know the history, if you just were dropped on earth and watched this football play, you'd be like, wait a minute, he got injured on that play? That's nobody's fault. Like, all right, so he tried to break it outside, he broke back inside, and toe got wrenched either on his cutback or when he fell or whatever it was. But I think people want to put this in the same category of, I can't believe that the Bengals don't invest in their offensive line to protect Joe Burrow. You can't protect him on every single play. Plus, when he's trying to make more time and create something. So I understand that you could put it all in there and put the history in there. That the Bengals drafted Jamar Chase and not Penei Sewell, and would that have limited Joe's hits over the years? Possibly, probably. Where do you stand on whether this is just football or whether this is very Bengal-like?
Yeah, I don't put this on the offensive line. I think this is, I definitely lean more toward this is just football, but there is the elephant in the room that at this point, I think we have to admit Joe Burrow is injury prone. And you can say, well, that's not fair. He's taking a lot of hits. I understand he's taking a lot of hits. A lot of quarterbacks take a lot of hits and don't have an injury pretty much every year. And unfortunately, this even goes back to his Ohio State days. He was ready to be the backup quarterback, not Dwayne Haskins, in 2017. Broke his hand in practice. They weren't going full contact or anything. Broke his hand. Okay, that happens in football, right? And then, so every injury we're going to talk about here, you could excuse, but it's just the totality of it when you add it up. It's like, man, some people just have fragile bones. I think Chris Spielman used to talk about that. Some people just don't. Some people have really hard bones. Some people have fragile bones, and some people are in between. And I don't want to believe that Joe Burrow has fragile bones, but here we go. All right, so we had the 2017 at Ohio State, where he would have been the backup, but he lost that job because he broke his hand. All right, then the ACL injury his first year with the Bengals. That wasn't his fault. Michael Jordan, former Ohio State Buckeye, got tossed back into him. You can't really blame him.
He turned his guy into him.
Yeah, turned his guy into him. That's what it was. So he basically got Joe killed there. And you're like, okay, you can't blame Joe for that. Then he had an appendectomy. It's like, you're going to blame Joe for being injury prone for having an appendectomy? That's silly. Then he had the wrist injury where the Ravens guy fell on him. But the doctor said, we've never really seen this for a quarterback before. So never seen that for a quarterback before. Now, what the doctors are saying with the turf toe, it's never gotten to the point where for a quarterback needed surgery. So you add it all up. It's really, it's hard for me to say the same things. I love the guy, and it's not a toughness thing. He's as tough as they come. It does seem like he's injury prone. I don't know how you could argue otherwise.
The ACL is not being injury prone.
That's what I mean. Well, the appendectomy is not being injury prone. The guy falling on your wrist maybe is, but then you're like, maybe anybody would have got hurt there, maybe not to that extent. I think it's kind of the argument now. It's like he's now coming up with injuries that people haven't even experienced ever before in the NFL as a quarterback.
To me, I would probably err on the side of not injury prone. I would err on the side of unlucky. I think he's unlucky. I think that I don't know if that's cosmic or whatever, or that's just life. Football, obviously he's putting himself in harm's way. He's a quarterback, and I think he's been unlucky.
Hopefully not Andrew unlucky, because a lot of Bengal fans are saying, oh, geez, is this Andrew Luck part 2? No. Guess what? Andrew Luck was in year 6 when...
Good. We just gave him a nickname then.
Oh, man. I hope you're right, because that's what I've always said. I'm like, come on, this is just bad luck. And I would always use the appendectomy. Oh, yeah, he's injury prone. He has an appendectomy. What's that? Come on. Right, and the guy... A 300-pound guy falls on your wrist, you think you're going to be okay? But it just adds up, man. Again, going back to his Ohio State days, breaks his wrist in practice. Breaks his hand.
I look at this as like somebody who calls in sick a lot because they get sick a lot. So the question you have to ask yourself, do they just have a poor immune system, or is it something they're doing that's unhealthy that makes them sick? I don't think he's doing anything that makes him injury prone.
I agree. He works his butt off. Yeah.
So I'm just going to chalk it up to it's just unlucky. The timing of it, whatever it is. And now where do you go? So Maddie and I had this debate the other day. I don't run their books. I'm not running their money. I don't know where this would go as far as trying to sign a $27 million quarterback when you're paying this guy $3.5 million a Sunday now to sit. And I'm talking about Burrow.
And you're talking about the Brown family doing this.
Yes, that's right. And well, Maddie's contention was, well, they've already spent enough. Why not spend more? Try to convince them of that.
Exactly.
Number two, I don't even know if it's the proper idea because I can't tell you whether Kirk Cousins gives them a better chance to win right now than Jake Browning does. Now, maybe over weeks, I would say that this is fact. That Cousins is probably a more talented quarterback than Browning. Is he now at this point of his career? I don't even know. And then you're going to put a guy with a Achilles injury history behind that O-line? Like, I'm all right with riding it out with Jake Browning. I don't know if you can save your season with anybody else. It doesn't feel like that you could save the season unless you're convinced that if you can get somebody to get you 8-7 till Burrow might be able to come back, and then I'm sure he would if they were in the playoff hunt. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, a couple things. With Browning, I agree with you because first of all, you have what he did 2 years ago where he went 4-3 as the starter. And that's okay. Okay, so we have that data point right there. He already has some good starts under his belt, 7 starts, and he played well. He knows the offense well, too. He's been there 4 years. So to your point, if you bring in Kirk Cousins, you're bringing an aging Kirk Cousins who came off an Achilles injury a little more than a year ago, doesn't know the offense. I think Jake Browning can keep them afloat. Now, you got to hope. They're saying Joe Burrow's out 3 months. If that holds true, that means he would be back for the final 4 games, but we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I would not be, I saw all these stories about the Bengals should do this and they should sign this quarterback, make this trade. I'm like, there's no way they're going to do that. They're just going to go with Jake Browning. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because of what I just said. He knows the offense well. He showed, he can be a competent NFL quarterback, including, last week he threw some really bad interceptions. Other than that, especially in that last drive, he threw the ball really well. So it's not a good situation to be in. I would now say the Bengals are not going to make the playoffs. I think you'd much rather be 0-2 with a healthy Burrow than 2-0 with Burrow out for 3 months. But they still have a chance, and Browning can perhaps keep them afloat. But I'd probably bet against it, Anthony.
There are other names that would make me feel better for them. Jameis throwing it around, bring Andy Dalton back.
I thought about that.
Russ. Yeah. Like, there are some guys that would give them a better chance maybe over the long haul, maybe. But I'm in the camp of ride it out now. This is a devastating injury again. We'll ask Schefter about it if they picked up the phone to call anybody that we haven't heard of yet. We'll come back. We'll talk Buckeyes. And does the next game fall into this category? We'll answer that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Did you know that Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And we're conveniently located right by the airport. We take pride in treating every customer like family because that's what's kept us around for generations. Right now, drive home a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 1.9% for up to 72 months. Start your journey today at columbussubaru.com. Byers Auto, driving the next generation of buyers. Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 72 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/30/25.
Dormar, your pilot hero. It's the Ohio Lottery's all-new $5, $20, or $100 scratch-off. With 3 simple cash prizes, it'll have you saying, "Wow, that's what I call winning." With tracks like... And the anthem celebrating the first of its kind $2 ticket. The $5, $20, or $100 scratch off is an absolute hit. Ohio Lotto's got the good. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Back to work, school, it's all happening. It's real life. Routine shouldn't be a bad word.
How about winning rhythm? Losing weight every week with Awaken 180 and looking forward each day in every weigh-in. Fast results online at awaken180weightloss.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months. 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Friday night can only mean one thing. The Capital Ford High School Football Game of the Week.
This week, Delaware at Westerville North.
5 coverage starts at 6:30 with a kick at 7. Your home of Friday Night Lights. The Fan.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets, or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman Ice.
All right, guys, you should be feeling pretty good. Nice weather, football season. If you don't have that energy you think you should, then I want you to listen up, because Synergenics and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. A lot of pop-ups lately. They're the original. They've been changing the lives of men across the country for more than a decade. They are the pros in the industry. They'll provide you with medically driven, results-focused, a winning approach to getting you back to feeling your best through hormonal care. And if you've been thinking about testosterone, or if you've noticed that you're getting more tired, you're not really motivated to do much, and maybe you're chalking it up to you're just getting older, maybe it's a physical and mental change to your body, testosterone might help. Real patients tell them all the time how they're getting their energy back. They're doing better at work. Their relationships are coming back, and they're working out more, taking more walks. They just have more energy to enjoy life. Synergenics and Low T Center, their TRT, their clinics conveniently located in Dublin and Gahanna. And you'll have the power to choose whether you want to be treated at the clinic or get it at home. Either way, all it starts with a quick test at the center. The on-site lab is going to make it quick and easy. You'll have those results back in about 20 minutes. And this is the time. Stop waiting. Imagine how much better you will feel. Take back your health. Restore your energy. Go to trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com. And you'll be wishing you did it sooner. We don't have a game this week. We have a game the following week. Any insight on a look-ahead line? Or do we have to wait on that? I know we have to wait for the official line, but any idea what that might be?
Yeah,
Buckeyes
Scotty and I talked about this
favored.
Scotty and I talked about this on Sunday. I think it's going to be around 18.5, Ohio State. That might be a little high, but here's the thing.
Bet you would Panama Red.
But here's the thing, though. Like, Washington doesn't have as much buzz as I think they should. They've got a really good quarterback, Damon Williams. Matt Patricia talked about him yesterday, compared him to Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I had a former Ohio State player tell me a week ago that he thinks this kid reminds him of Antoine Randall L., but a better passer. I'm like, geez, Antoine Randall L. was a problem in college when he played quarterback. So this Damon Williams is very good. He started at the end of last year for Washington, looked good, and he's a good quarterback. So I think this is going to be an interesting test for Ohio State. So but here's the thing. Ohio State has all the buzz. They're the number one team. They're the defending national champion. And I can't imagine that it's going to be like 14.5 or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'm going 18.5. What do you think? Is that a little high?
It was a hair high when you said it. Doesn't Washington have this epic home stadium deal going now and win streak and all?
They haven't lost since 2021, so it's not like that long. But still, I mean, they've been undefeated in 2022 at home, 23, 24, now so far in 25. It's a tough place to play, and I know Ohio State fans are probably thinking, well, I remember 2007, it didn't seem that tough. True, but go back and look at some other games that Ohio State played, much earlier. That's a tough place to play. It's also one of the coolest settings, I think, in college football, with the boats pulling up there and just docking right there. So this is a good Washington team, and it's not going to be easy. I love the game time, Anthony, 3:30. But
they didn't. Washington didn't get that night game for the Buckeyes.
I think that's perfect. Yeah. I love those 3:30 Eastern time games. So I think right around 18.5. What are you going with?
Listen, I think I've always said on the show that it's a lot of points until it isn't. And so could I see Ohio State winning by 3 touchdowns? Of course I could, right? Of course. Since my knee-jerk reaction was that it sounded a hair high, and just a hair, I'm in kind of that 16.5, 17, right in that key number area, like where you'd have to tease it either to 16.5 or 17.5 or whatever to like it. So
I think this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah. I'll go 17.5.
Not like tough where Ohio State's going to win, like maybe on a last-second field goal or have to drive down for a last-second touchdown. But I think this is going to be a difficult game where it will be a game in the second half, and I think Ohio State will eventually overwhelm them, and maybe they can have, maybe they can make Damon Williams turnover prone, because he's certainly never seen a defense like this. This defense, man, and it's crazy to say after losing 8 NFL draft picks off the defense alone, they look like they might be the best defense in the country again, but they have a long way to go to prove that. But I think this is going to be a tight game. So if it is 18.5, I'm not going to bet on it, but if it was, I'd probably take the 18.5 and take Washington, because I think this will be somewhat tight. If I had to guess, I think Ohio State's going to win this game by 10 or so, but I'm
getting so I don't know if this is going to be accurate or not, but I don't think this is accurate. I've got a weird look ahead line of about 10.5 to 11.5, but that can't be right.
Ooh. Well, I mean, that's kind of how I expect it to be. So that actually I'd be surprised if that's how it comes out. Because Ohio State, it's like the Cowboys, the line's always a little skewed because people like to, I don't know why people still like to bet on the Cowboys. In the 90s, I understood it. Maybe not so much since.
This can't be right. I don't think that's right. I think
it possibly could be, because maybe people have caught on that Washington's actually a good team and playing at home. Ohio State they pulled away, but Ohio State looked shaky for a good portion of that Ohio University game, and people might not realize that Ohio University is a good team. I know, good for the MAC.
Here's one. Should I be going to these sites at work? I don't know. People that I talk to.
These sites.
Incognito browser.
The postmaster. We had a guy.
Cole's got your back.
I've told the story years and years ago.
Been there, done that.
Before there was online gambling, or before there was any even offshore gambling. This was way back. The bookie that we used was our mailman.
Oh, nice.
Think about how ideal that is.
Yeah.
Picks up envelopes, drops them off. kind of always know where he's going to be. Bad part is he also knows where you live. So it's kind of a win-win. Could be a lose-lose relationship. But I used to call. So my nickname for him was the postmaster. So we would always call my brother. And I go, "Did you talk to the postmaster today? What's the line on this week's games?" I've got a 13.5 here as well.
Well, I was way off.
I'm not saying these are right. I'm talking to people that are on the dark web.
You've got now 2 sources saying it's either 13.5 or what, like 11.5, 10.5. Good. That's frankly where it should be. 18.5. Even though that's what I guessed, just because of Ohio State's name recognition and Washington coming into the season unranked. I think they're still unranked. They should be ranked.
They won't be ranked even if they hammer Washington State.
When I first saw that, I'm like, oh God, they have to play Washington. Even though Washington State, I didn't think they were good. I didn't know they were this pathetic. I guess it makes sense after they lose John Mateer and a bunch of other transfers and their offensive coordinator. But I was thinking, oh geez, Washington has to play an in-state rival, Washington State, the week before they play Ohio State. When Ohio State has a bye week, it's a nice advantage for Ohio State. Turns out Washington pretty much has a bye week too.
Why is this? Is it allowed to be called a trap game if everyone is saying that it could be a trap game?
Oh, you mean Ohio State against Washington?
Yeah, like I've heard it being put out there that this is a trap game. Meaning, and my definition of a trap game is a team that you would drastically overlook because A, you probably can, or B, you have something bigger right after them. Ohio State doesn't have something quite. What do they have right after Washington?
Do they have Minnesota or is it at Wisconsin? It's one of those two. I think it's Minnesota at home, then at Wisconsin, at Illinois. It's an interesting schedule. I mean, at 3 road games.
Minnesota at
home. And Minnesota's not that good. They lost to Cal, but they're not a joke. PJ Fleck has them as a solid team every year.
If Illinois was the next week, I could say Washington would be a semi-trap game. And that would be only if Illinois had already played Indiana and beaten them. So if Illinois doesn't beat Indiana this weekend and Indiana wins, then does Illinois become more of a trap game because now they've kind of lost their big game early? Like, I see everybody talking about Washington being a trap game. I think it's a respected game. I think there's going to be respect for them. It's on the road. It's the first road trip for Julian. Ohio State's better. We know that. Washington's offensive line, how they're going to hold up against this Ohio State defense, that's the big worry, I think, for them. Their offensive line a year ago was just a paper bag. And so now maybe they're a little better, and now they see the number 1 team in the country coming to their place. How many opportunities do you get? So they'll be jacked up. You know what everyone says. You always get everybody's best, especially if you're Ohio State, and then especially if you're Ohio State and you're number 1. Would you put this in the definition of a trap game? Illinois is not a trap game if they're top 10. There's no such thing as a trap game if you're playing a top 10 team.
Right, and that's the thing with Washington. I thought coming into the year it would be a trap game, so I didn't think they'd have and they still don't have the buzz I think they should, like I said, but it seems like Ohio State's coaches and players fully know that this is a good Washington team based on what they were talking about yesterday. I mean, they've already, dove in deep on the Huskies. So it could be a little bit of a trap game just because Washington is unranked. Ohio State's number 1, first road game, like you said, for Julian. I think it does help a little bit that some of Ohio State's coaches have played there. Obviously, James Laurinaitis and Brian Hartline played there as Buckeyes in 2007. But it's a tough place to play. It's going to be an interesting game for sure.
The spread is less than 2 touchdowns, which the postmaster says it will be right now today. Does that make it less of a trap game? I think it's more of a trap game when the spread's huge.
I'm still trying to get over the fact the perfect side hustle, a mailman who doubles as a bookie. Back in the day when you needed a real bookie, that was ingenious by him.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Postmaster General.
Postmaster was always there. Adam Schefter is up in 2 minutes. I'll ask him if the Bengals made any other calls to any more high-profile quarterbacks. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises, Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to Metal Supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on Metal Supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, we'll have Schefter on in a moment, the ESPN NFL insider. I've seen some rumors that the Bengals have been calling around. Now, they obviously signed a couple of their practice squad. Rippon and Mike White and
Sean Clifford. They elevated Rippon from practice squad to the backup quarterback.
Clifford, the big red dog.
Clifford. Jeez.
They have Jake Browning, which isn't total intimidation. But they play the Vikes this week.
Battle of the backup quarterbacks. Our team's going at it, Anthony.
Wentz.
Yes.
Coming back. I wonder if he can still move. Because that was his biggest issue. He couldn't move. He had the injury, and then because he was a pretty athletic quarterback.
He was.
When he first came out.
Definitely. Early on, it looked like the Eagles made a great pick early on. That's still funny to me that it was end up being Foles winning the Super Bowl for them. When Wentz went down, Eagles are done, and Foles leads them to a Super Bowl, helps lead them to a Super Bowl.
Why do I feel like Andy Dalton would be fun?
I thought about that too. It's funny that you mentioned that. I was thinking at least bring him in instead of like Brett Rippon. Like, how about now the Panthers are trying to say
for him though.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you can't just bring him in.
We know you're desperate. We want at least a fourth. The Bengals aren't going to trade like a fourth round pick for Andy Dalton to come in and perhaps not even be better than Jake Browning because Browning's 29 years old, I believe. Dalton's way up there in age now, 37. Browning knows the offense. Browning was solid 2 years ago. Browning reminded me 2 years ago. I don't think this is going to give Bengal fans a lot of confidence. He reminds me of kind of like a John Kitna. I didn't consider Kitna like a terrible quarterback. He was I considered John Kitna like an average starting NFL quarterback. Average at best. So if Browning can be that, if he can be what he was 2 years ago when he filled in for Burrow, that 7-game stretch when he went 4-3, that could be enough to keep them afloat. The defense does look much better. Now that's a low bar. There's nowhere to go but up. But they look they look much better though without Gould. Now, very very small sample size, but I like what I'm seeing out of the defense. And man, Notre Dame's ready to have him come back. I was getting on the Notre Dame message boards. Our old friend Chris Ash is their defensive coordinator. Notre Dame fans are ready to run him out of South Bend already. They're not very happy with Chris Ash.
He's getting more of the beef than Marcus Freeman is.
He is, because Marcus helped. Marcus has a long runway now, as he should, leading Notre Dame to the national championship game. That was huge for him.
And they've lost to two decent teams. It's just too bad they were both back-to-back to start the year. But you got to win the A&M game. You got to come out of that bye, and you got to win that game. Then it settles everything down. But, here's the good thing for them. Well, it's good and bad. Their schedule says they'll run the table. But that's going to be tough to win every one of them. Like where they wouldn't get into a tough game somewhere, whether it's USC or just something weird.
Right, and USC looks better than people expected, including myself. NC State is another one that could trip them up, I believe. And here's the thing, I do think 10-2 Notre Dame would get in because I think A&M is going to remain being a good team. I think Miami's going to remain being a good team. So you're going to look back. Those are their two losses against top, let's say 15 teams, and then they ran the table. I think 10-2 Notre Dame would get in. But you know what? It's no lock. They could be 10-2. What if A&M falls off a little bit? What if Miami turns out to be not as good as we think? And Notre Dame's sitting there at 10-2. They could be left out, although I think 10-2 Notre Dame would get in. Barely. They'd be playing on the road in the first round, but they'd get in.
That's the beauty of the 12-team playoff for them. They know, any other season, they're toast. And now they're like, hey, we're Notre Dame. We got the brand. Those games will be way back when we lost those two. The only problem is they just have nothing to hang their hat on.
Well, yeah, hopefully for them, USC is ranked, or at least USC's better than I think people expected.
All right, little NFL playbook. Our man Adam Schefter is with us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Shefty, good to have you.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
All good. We saw that the Bengals are starting to stack up some backups here. Did they make any calls for anybody that we would deem more interesting?
No.
No.
And it was not going to be that. I mean, maybe they did that I'm unaware of. I don't want to say it didn't happen, right? But I think, the plan is Jaden Daniels, it's his job. Like, that's the deal.
Jake Browning, you mean?
Jake Browning,
yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's get Jaden Daniels. That'd be much better.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels isn't going to practice until Friday. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, go say to mommy. I got my dog outside.
Gosh.
Go to mommy. I'm getting in the car. My dog wants to come with me while my wife's walking.
Of course.
So I don't want to run my dog over. Yeah, that would not be good. So anyway, that's the deal with that. So, Jaden Daniels isn't going to practice Friday. The Bengals are going with Jake Browning. They might have called somebody else. They might have, but I just don't think it was viable. Like they're looking for somebody to come in and kind of be there. They believe in Jake Browning. They like Jake Browning. You're not going to do, they don't think they're going to do a lot better than Jake Browning. Who do you want them to go get that's better than Jake Browning right now? Who's been in the offense, knows the system, knows the players? Who's better than Jake Browning right now that could step in?
Well, those are two different. Those are maybe two different questions. Somebody that knows the system, I don't know. Somebody that might be considered better than Jake Browning, there may be somebody like that. They would be a lot more expensive.
Well, that's part of it too, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, I agree with you. Cousins.
Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause and could veto any part of a trade to Cincinnati. His boys already are enrolled in school in Atlanta. He moved them out of Minnesota to go to Atlanta. Kirk Cousins doesn't strike me as somebody who's ready to leave his boys behind to go play for the Cincinnati Bengals. There's no connection there.
Yeah, Adam, I think it definitely helps Jake Browning, obviously, that he went 4-3 as the Bengals starter 2 years ago. As you mentioned, they believe in him.
That's the guy. I mean, they've been down this road before. Joe Burrow hurt his wrist. He was at the final 7 games. They went with Jake Browning then. Why is it different now?
Why is it different? I don't know. Maybe because they're 2-0. It's weird. It's weird to think about the fact that, they didn't lay an egg in the first couple games like they have been. Like, there's a little different feeling for Bengal fan. I'm not speaking for the team. I'm just saying for Bengal fan, it's like, oh, wow, now we're not behind the 8 ball to start the season. Maybe we ought to continue to think big. That'd be the only counter to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, I think that they believe that Jake Browning is the right idea and the right plan moving forward. Yeah. That's what I think they think.
Looking at a different quarterback situation, I think the Colts might have found their quarterback in Daniel Jones, signed to a 1-year, $14 million contract. What are you hearing? Are they trying to sign him to an extension? Do you feel like they found their long-term answer at quarterback?
Well, it feels almost like it's one of these situations that seems to play out now on a semi-regular basis, whether it's Geno Smith in Seattle and now Las Vegas, or Baker Mayfield in Tampa, or Sam Darnold in Minnesota. But there are guys who are picked high in the draft, who wash out in the city, who are set free, who surface in another place, and then wind up playing to their potential. Now, it's 2 games in Indy. And I think that the Colts are probably thrilled with they are thrilled with Daniel Jones, and I'm sure that Daniel Jones is very happy with Indianapolis. It's not like they need to do extension talks right now because there's a long season to play out. They want to make sure that if the whole year goes like this, I could tell you this: Indianapolis is going to go to Daniel Jones to get him re-signed, and Daniel Jones is going to want to re-sign, and so they're going to want to get the deal done. There's no need to go do it now, but you can let your mind wander there and think, oh, would they do that? Because it's been a great fit for both sides. And when that is the case, usually both sides are not looking to go on. It's different than Minnesota, where basically Sam Darnold was shining when there was a first-round draft pick waiting in the wings. There is a first-round draft pick waiting in the wings in Indianapolis, but he's already gotten his chances there. And Daniel Jones has beaten him out. And J.J. McCarthy never had gotten a chance, and so they were ready to turn it over. Different set of circumstances. So I think Indianapolis and Daniel Jones, if things were to go along this pace, and let me remind you, at this time last year, the Saints were 2-0, and everybody was talking about how great their offense was, only to see how it washed out. It's a long season. Let's see how it goes, but the early signs are highly encouraging.
Schefter, with the Chiefs being 0-2, 2 close losses, but still 0-2, Is there more pressure for Xavier Worthy to play Sunday night?
Listen, I don't think that a team's situation in week 3, their one-loss record, is going to dictate whether a player pushes extra and goes out there. I think all along he had been tracking to play. They were trying to get him back last week. They recognized it wasn't practical from the dislocated shoulder. We'll see how the practices go this week, but my sense is that he'll be out there this week, depending on how this week goes. I don't think it's like they feel like they're 0-2, boy. I know we're only 70% healthy, but we got to just push him past that to get him out there. I don't think it's that. I just think that when he's ready to go out there, he's going to go out there, and I think there's a decent chance we'll see him on Sunday night against the Giants.
Hey, Adam, what was your takeaway on the report that Shedeur Sanders told the Ravens not to draft him?
I think there's a couple of ways. Yeah. That is accurate. I think there are a couple of ways you could look at it. I could understand that he wants to opt for the uncertainty of what's behind door number 2 as opposed to door number 1, where it's Baltimore and Lamar Jackson and one of the elite players in the league, and you're not going to have a chance to unseat him, and he's going to be the guy. I mean, there are a lot of players, young players, that would want the chance to compete for a starting job, and let's be honest, he's not going to be competing for the starting job there in Baltimore. My own feeling would be, look, Baltimore's been a great organization. I know it's not ideal if it's me, but I'm taking the opportunity to go to a great organization, watch how they operate, watch how Lamar conducts himself, learn as much as I can. And by the way, less wear and tear on my body, and if and when I can show out in the preseason and become a free agent, maybe I can make some decent money then. But that's not how he felt, and I understand that. Again, it would be different than the way I would have approached it, but I'm not him.
What was your take on Tom Brady in the coaching booth?
I don't get too worked up about that. Tom Brady is a minority owner of the Raiders. He wants to see them do well. And if he feels like his presence in the booth is going to help out, then that's what he's going to do. Now, I know that people are all bent out of shape, conflict of interest, can't broadcast, can't do this and that. You can do whatever you want. But now, other teams that are going to be meeting with him, they should be aware, which they already were, that Tom is a minority owner of the Raiders. If you feel like, hey, there's a guy on our team that we feel like this guy is buried on the depth chart, but we think he's got a real chance to succeed, and you don't want somebody to know that because maybe they're going to try to bid for the guy as a free agent or trade for, or whatever, then don't share it. Don't share it. But I don't have. I understand how it looks, and I understand a lot of people don't like it. I've heard from some coaches that don't like it. That's fine. That's their right. And by the way, they pointed out, this is the same guy that was a part of Spygate and Deflategate. Okay, fine. Again, they're entitled to that viewpoint. That is the history of Tom Brady and the Patriots. I got it. My point is, so what? I talk to a lot of people around the league every day. Sometimes they know they're talking to a reporter, and they're not going to tell me that they're about to trade somebody. Or maybe they do tell me in confidence, but they control what they tell me. And I feel like it's the same thing. Okay, so Tom's a broadcaster. What, you think Tom Brady couldn't figure out by watching the tape certain players' tendencies? I mean, I think it's much ado about nothing, but I understand why people would be all worked up about it.
All right. Look at how Jerry Jones played the media before he traded Micah. He was actually thanking the media for writing what he told them. And he said basically, I wasn't truthful with you. So.
Well, for the record, I never believed he was. I said that I thought they were going to get divorced.
Yeah.
So, you got to understand what Jerry's selling. And, Jerry's a master salesman, master marketer, master everything. Yeah. And I always had questions that they were going to be able to work it out.
That's right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, when we were talking over the weeks, I think you were helping. I was leaning that this just felt different. There was something different about it. And look what happened. But the press conference that he held after he traded him, and whoever that media member was, and he said, and I thank you for writing that. Like, it was...
Yeah, and he called that Stephen A. I wasn't going to tell you the truth. I wasn't.
Right.
Now, again, on my podcast in mid-August, I'm like, the Cowboys are... These two sides are headed for a divorce. There will not be a long-term agreement, between these two sides, or something to that effect. And I got all kinds of angry messages, and I will say this: there's a woman I know in my town who's a big Cowboys fan, and she sent me like this message. I was taken aback. It's like, are you out of your mind? Or you don't know what you're talking about. They're gonna get this done. You're gonna look like an idiot. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. So of course after the trade, I said, I guess it kind of went the way that we thought it might, huh? Well, you were right.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Easy to walk it back now. All right, my man. Good stuff, as always. Be well. Have a good day.
Guys, have a great week.
Yeah, thanks. Adam Schefter, ESPN Senior NFL Insider on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, speaking of Kansas City, is there a conspiracy? Wait till you hear what this guy is peddling. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Join the Reds when they battle the Cubs in a 4-game set September 18th through the 21st. Bring your furry friend to the game on Thursday for the last Bark in the Park of the season, thanks to Good and Fun, Dreambone, and Kroger. Don't miss a spectacular fireworks show after the game on Friday the 19th, presented by Paycor. Plus, Sunday the 21st is Fan Appreciation Day, with prizes to lucky fans throughout the game. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales, 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Fall is here. The leaves are changing, football's on TV, and family time by the bonfire feels just right. Before it gets even colder, now's the time to make sure your home is ready for what lies ahead. For over 3 decades, homeowners across Central Ohio have turned to Newman Roofing for reliable roofing, siding, and gutter work that stands the test of time. From your very first call, you'll talk with a real person who's happy to walk you through the process. Your estimator won't push you, just explain what's going on with your home and share solutions that make sense for you. And when the work begins, a dedicated job supervisor makes sure every detail meets Newman Roofing standards. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the hundreds of 5-star Google reviews from families right here in Columbus who chose Newman Roofing and couldn't be happier. Appointments are filling fast for fall installations, so don't wait. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today. Let Newman Roofing handle your to-do list so you can get back to the things and the people that matter most. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com.
Wow, that nagging joint pain, you know the one. Sometimes it's from maybe years of hard work. Sometimes it's just an old injury that never healed right. I know I've got plenty of those. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for far too long. But that stops right now. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here, and QC Kinetics is here in Columbus to flip the script. Dr. Wolkoff and his team are going to use regenerative medicine, just like I got, advanced cellular treatments that will help your body heal itself. It's going to restore the damaged tissues. It's not a cover-up for it. It's not pills. It's not scalpels. It's long-term lasting relief. So you don't have to operate your life around the pain anymore. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Just smarter and natural ways to heal your body. Make sure you bring your MRI, bring your x-rays. They'll tell you if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. So just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or visit them at qckinetics.com/Columbus.
The Fan has a new tailgate destination. Join us before every home game at the O Patio and Pub on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Jameson Whiskey didn't go to college. And Coors Light.
See you Saturday, friends.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
C-Bus. Epic. So I said on yesterday's program that since 1990, teams that start 0-2 in the NFL make the playoffs 12% of the time. Since 2000, since they expanded, they expanded, I'm trying to think when all these expansions took place. But
so
essentially
17 was 2021, right? Was that the first year, I think, 2021?
Not the amount of games, the amount of teams making the playoffs.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Either way, it has stayed at 12% over like 25 years. It stayed there. It doesn't matter whether they've added another team or added another game. It doesn't matter. And so here we are with the Chiefs, who've lost 2 very close games and don't have their 2 biggest weapons in the receiver room, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. I disagree a little bit with Schefter that I feel like Kansas City, if Xavier is borderline, he's going to play. Like, now he said, well, he's always kind of been tracking, but in a torn labrum you brace that up and hope for the best. But I feel like there is a lot of pressure for him to play. He has to feel it. Internally, they have to feel it. But and TLC could probably help me with this. So I was listening to an ESPN show in New York.
Don LaGreca.
Yeah, in New York.
Is Michael K's old show, I think.
So I was listening to this, and now, while I would admit that this is a interesting / funny take on the situation, I'm telling you that there are reasons why I won't buy it. So I'll let you listen first.
The league won't allow it. I'm just going to throw it out there. The NFL is not going to allow the Chiefs to start 0-3. There's too much on the line. I'm sorry. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I will. ESPN can fire me. The NFL is not going to allow the Kansas City Chiefs to lose that game on national television and be 0-3. That's not going to happen. What are they going to do? Wait, but you've got they're getting married later. They're engaged.
But you don't really believe
they got all these nationally televised. It's not. I'm telling you, we're going to sit here on next Monday.
Well, they're
Sunday
just going to win, though.
We're going to sit there and we're going to say there's going to at least. I'm telling you, there's going to be at least 3 calls where we're like, how did that happen?
But do you think they're really going to need that?
Probably not. I'm just telling you, on top of the Giants not being good, the league just won't allow it.
All right. From the outset, I understand it. They have the golden boy in Mahomes. They've been in the last few Super Bowls. Kansas City sells. The tight end's marrying Taylor Swift. I understand where he's going with it, that they are kind of the it team or America's team in some way, shape, or form. But what he's not considering is that they missed all these false starts on the Eagles on the Tush push. They had a way out. They could have helped them last week, and they didn't. So why all of a sudden, by the way, very convenient to say they won't go 0-3 when they're almost a touchdown favorite over the Giants.
Right.
Like, it's very convenient to say the league won't allow them to be 0-3 when they're playing a team they actually should beat now, where their first 2 games were toss-ups at best. One was overseas and one was against the champs. So this 0-2 is not the same as everybody else's 0-2. It's not. So that's why I still believe the Chiefs are competitive. They're going to be a tough out no matter when they play. Their running game stinks right now, but they've got enough defensively and enough offensively to stay afloat until Xavier and Rashee can kind of help them. Doesn't mean they're going to be the champs again. But this theory that the league will make sure that the refs reffing the game against the Giants are going to err on the side of the Chiefs, I think we would have seen it last week if there was something to be had there. I just think it's very convenient to say that, okay, now that they're playing a team they should beat, the league will make sure it happens. Guess who's going to make sure it happens? The Chiefs.
And the Giants.
Maybe.
Seriously. I mean, to your point, seriously, they're playing the Giants. They're already ready to run Russ Wilson out and have Jackson Dart start. So, yeah, I'll be surprised.
I don't know. He looked good late.
Well, that's good. After 1 week, they're ready to have Jackson Dart.
After 1 week,
yeah,
right.
They were. That's just a bridge way too far. And, in addition to everything you said about, Taylor Swift and all that and the Swifties and all the attention, there have been some calls with the Chiefs in the playoffs that people are like, a couple of times, not that I would know anything about that being a Bengals fan. We're like, really? But no, the NFL is not going to completely make sure that the Chiefs go 1-2. Because, think about that with everything that's going on in sports, if it was that egregious where there's like 3 calls like he's talking about, you don't think everybody, on social media and elsewhere would be all over that? Come on. And they're playing the Giants. They'll be fine.
This would have been a much better take, a much stronger take, if they were playing a really good team. And he said, they'll make sure. Like if they were playing the Packers this week, or the Bills was this week, or they were playing somebody like the Chargers again, like it would have been a stronger take.
For sure.
The question is, if the Giants actually pull this off, what's he saying next week? I was wrong? Like, there are only so many calls, unless he could point to, well, they played horribly, but they were getting calls slanted their way, and they still couldn't do it. That would probably be the way out. We have a SportsCenter update here, top of the hour. Hour number 2 on the way. Brian Kelly, the rant, the apology. We'll dissect it next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. And if you're gearing up for the big game, don't forget the MVP of desserts, Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. This legendary treat just made its way to Ohio. Finally! We're talking rich devil's food cake, buttery cream bumps, and a fudge icing that is just unfair. They'd throw a flag on it if it was actually on the field. Bring one to your next tailgate, watch party, or even a team celebration, and you'll be the real hero. Available now at Kroger and Meijer, Sanders Bumpy Cake. It's game day greatness. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Come join the Ford versus Ferrari Ultimate Car Show at Valley. Everyone's invited to see Ford GTs and Ferraris, plus tons of other local show cars up close this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Drive-in car registration is open to all at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the tin man.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Baseball this afternoon, Cincinnati Reds visit the St. Louis Cardinals coming up at 1:15. Brady Singer gets the ball for Cincy against Andre Palante for St. Louis. Reds 3 games out of the third NL wildcard spot. Cleveland Guardians and Detroit Tigers battle tonight at 6:40. Gavin Williams throws for Cleveland against Jack Flaherty for Detroit. Cards have won 5 straight and are 2.5 games back of the third AL wildcard. NFL, New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields will miss Sunday's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers while in concussion protocol. Tyrod Taylor will start in his place. This update sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Schedule today at thewaterworks.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Hour number 2. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, the loose cannon. Bobby Carpenter, 130. Ins and outs coming your way, 117. Brian Kelly.
Speaking of a loose cannon.
Coaches they're under some pressure. I get it. It's emotional. No one's denying them emotion. And they know, and we'll get to Dabo later in the show, but these guys have to know that they are in a what have you done for me lately occupation, and they're getting paid a lot of money, not for what they've done in the past. The past enabled them to get to this salary. Keeping that salary is like any other job. Like, you can't just have bad years leading any company or anything like that. Anyway, so they're, third in the AP? This is the second highest for LSU under him. So 3-0 start. I get it. It's about winning football games. But all these coaches want to spout that the standard is the standard. And then when the reporter gently dips his toe in the water on the standard, then all of a sudden the coaches freak. And I do think that both can be true. Winning a game and winning a tough game and grinding out a win and doing what it takes to win a game, it matters. But most coaches get to the podium after those things and go the other way. Because you know why? They're used to reporters going glaze-a-palooza on them. Like, it doesn't, like that they won the game. This reporter didn't. And I think, because most coaches counter it. Most coaches go like, hey, I don't want my guys reading the press clippings, right?
Rat poison.
Yeah, we're not as good as we think we are, and this and that and the other. So I actually understand where Kelly's coming from. And it's emotional, but it's fun, and it's fun to listen to. Let's hear it.
Brian in the back, I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
All right. It's a great rant. It is. It's a lot easier to rant when you've won because you have the ammunition. It'd be tougher to bow up against anything if they lost a close game. They won a close game. He's proud of his guys. It's a damn rare. He's proud of his town. That's a damn rare thing these days. It's the middle of the night. If he loses that game, I don't know, 20-17 instead of winning it 20-10, does he view it the same way? That we played our tails off and we just came up on the wrong end? Or does he start going to, we can't be 4-14 on third downs and expect to win? So you're the number 3 team in the country. You're not some little underdog, little engine that could. That we're happy that you won a close game. You beat an unranked team. I'm not saying that they're horrible. Florida's not. But I just feel like it was over the top, and I'm almost here for it. I think he's entitled to be proud of his guys. I think you have to package it that way. You have to package it. And this is tough because it's human and it's emotion. And I'm talking about it, somebody that has no emotion attached to it and is talking about it 4 days later. So it's a lot easier for me to say this is how he should have handled it. A lot easier. And I admit that. What I would say to him is, well, as a seasoned coach, you should be able to handle those questions a little better.
Someone getting paid, close to $10 million?
As a seasoned coach, You're not a rookie.
Exactly. And, I'm sure a lot of times, Ryan Day's asked questions where probably his instinct is to answer something like that, but he never does because he's classy. Brian Kelly has never shown class, and it probably never will. And here's the thing, though.
Let me stop you real fast. Even Ryan Day said, "Where's Lou?" So he can have emotion.
He did.
He can have
that
emotion.
Was so I still can't even believe that. That was so out of character for Ryan Day. He's never done anything like that with the media. And you're right. That was out of character for Ryan Day. I didn't like that. But it was like a one-off. This is consistent with Brian Kelly's career, stuff like this. I did like the subtle shout-out to Herm Edwards, though, during the rant.
Play to win the game?
Yeah, a couple of little shout-outs to Herm there. I was waiting for him to cite his sources there. You play to win the game. Yeah, just ridiculous. And then he ended up apologizing to this reporter. So that was probably a forced apology because he was getting so much backlash for it. Because it was a fine. There was nothing wrong with the question. The reporter was even trying to be nice. You can tell when a reporter's trying to get you, right? He even prefaced it with, "Coach, I know you love these types of questions." That was him he said, breaking the ice. I know you don't really like, but that was basically him saying, "Listen, I know right after the game you don't like these types of questions." That was trying to hit him giving an olive branch, and instead Kelly just jumps right down his throat. It's like, last time I checked, don't you have a Heisman contending quarterback? I think a question about your offense sputtering as well. And you could say, listen, we wanted to make sure we won the game. Do we need to get better offensively? Yes. You could have, both things can be true.
That's right.
You don't need to rip the head off of a guy that's probably making what? I don't know. 1% of what you're making? I don't know. It's just a bad look for Brian Kelly, and I think we're used to it by now.
Yeah, it's weird because I see both sides of it. I think that reporter has every right to ask a standard question, which is, because he's assuming. Here's the weird thing about reporting. You know this is better than anybody. Sometimes you ask a question and you assume the coach is going to love the question, and you assume wrong because you don't know what mood he's in. You don't know what he's thinking. Sometimes you're trying to help him get to where you think he wants to go anyway, which is, we won the game. We were lucky in a lot of respects. We were fortunate. We had a couple big plays at the end that helped us win the game. I'm proud of our guys, but man, we got to get better or we're going to lose those games. Like you think you're leading him where he wants to go. And that guy, I think, to your point, the disclaimer is, hey, I know you hate, like, basically answering questions right after an emotional victory that are too, like, micro. And so he prefaced it that way. So I'm assuming he knows the guy. And he did apologize. He said, I think it's important to understand that, you know, my standards relative to how we work with the media on a day-to-day basis need to be higher. And I take responsibility for that. And I'll be better in the future. So
I got the mea culpa if you want it.
Oh, you basically have that? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Hi. Before I get to the game in Southeast Louisiana, I want to go back to the press conference after the game. I've texted with Mike and offered my apology to him for the way I handled the questioning. I think it's important to understand that, my standards relative to how we work with the media on a day-to-day basis need to be higher. And I take responsibility for that, and I'll be better in the future. And understanding also the way I'm thinking after a game, and we've mentioned this a couple of times in here, the emotions of the game right after it. I haven't watched any film. It's difficult to make those assessments of specifics. And I'm going to defend my team. I'm going to defend my players first and foremost. But having said that, I publicly apologize to Mike, and he's an outstanding reporter. He works hard, and we'll do better moving forward. So I just wanted to address that in the outset.
All right, good for him.
Should he have called instead of texted?
Oh, I don't think it was that big of a deal. He's going to see him. He's going to see him soon enough. I think texting him right away is probably the right thing. I'm sure he probably said, hey, I apologize for the other night. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll talk more then or whatever. I'm sure the reporter didn't take it personally because he understands the coach's emotions. Now, I didn't love the middle part of that, which is that I'm not prepared to answer questions because I have to look at tape. Okay, then that's your answer.
And I'm going to defend our players. There was a lot of deflecting. It wasn't quite a non-apology apology, but it was flirting. It was flirting with non-apology apology because he apologized, but then he defended everything he said and tried to explain it away. But then went back and complimented the guy. So not quite a non-apology apology, but pretty close.
What he's trying to do, what he was trying to say, I believe, is that I've told our reporters, don't ask me these questions because I can't answer them. And then you ask anyway. That's what he wanted to say in that apology, because you heard him say, gone over this before. Mike, the reporters know that I've got to look at things before I can answer them. That's the way to answer it. Most coaches do that. Ryan does it. Other coaches do that. It sucks for the media at the time because we've all watched the game.
But what do we do? What's our trick? We preface the question with, I know you need to watch the film.
That's right.
But your early takeaway on this, which is basically what this reporter was doing.
We
know you haven't watched the film, but the game just ended. We are aware you have not watched 3 hours of film. The game just ended. It's such a cop-out when these guys, especially when these guys are getting paid $10 million. They know, and you just won the game. Again, Brian Kelly has just always shown a lack of class, and that continues.
Yeah, I can't speak on the whole history of it, but I can just speak on this outside looking in. I feel like that there were ways around it. He was emotional. His guys gutted out a victory, just like when Ryan Day had his guys gut out a victory at Notre Dame, and he wanted his pound of flesh, and he was going to find his guy. I remember, this is way back when. I remember, listen, Coop hurt for years, couldn't win the big game. Goes out to the Rose Bowl, wins an incredible comeback against Arizona State in 97. And I remember Jack Aroots on the field. They're interviewing him, and the first thing he's saying is, we did win the big game. You tell him. Like, he couldn't wait to just, yell into that microphone because he finally got this monkey off his back. And I think that Kelly is now the third-ranked team in the country, and he's got a quarterback that's dinged up, and he won a tough game against a rival, and he wants that to be the headline. And the difference is that he's not allowed to dictate everything. The reporter is writing their own story, and there are a ton of different ones. They're running different features, and for as much praise as he's going to get, they're going to get some stuff that talks about how they were 4-14 on third down, and that needs to get better if they're going to be a national champ. So it's big picture stuff. I think he handled the apology okay. Basically what he wanted to say is, I've told these guys, I can't answer those questions, so don't ask me. It was a very Nick Saban-like. Remember the Nick Saban with, was it Maria Taylor, whoever he was with?
Oh, yeah, and then
in the hallway? This was on the field.
Oh, okay.
Or whoever, and then he was...
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then it was even more condescending. Here's the more condescending part of it. When he said, or the person in your ear that's telling you to ask that. That's even more condescending.
He was probably right.
I'm not saying.
He was probably right. I think Saban gets a lot more leeway for stuff like that because he was the GOAT. Where people just don't like Brian Kelly.
There's emotion involved. I get it.
Ask Bearcat fans what they think about Brian Kelly. Ask Notre Dame fans what they think about him. That says a lot to me right there. Because ask Ohio State fans how they feel about Jim Tressel. Now, did Jim Tressel go off and coach other schools? No, my point is when Bearcat fans are saying this about Brian Kelly, Notre Dame fans say the exact same thing. It says a lot to me.
Ins and outs next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Looky here, guys. The Grove City Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest is back for year 3, Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. I'm excited. We're talking cold beer, killer wings, live music all day, football on the big screen. It all supports Ghosts of War, helping veterans in need. So veterans and military, you're in free, baby. Get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Brought to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Martin Painting, T-Mobile, and Greenscapes. Wingfest, flavor, fun, and football. What more do you need?
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is the Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Exactly. All right. This question is to my man Dave Biddle. Would you have been in or out on your first question to Ryan Day after Saturday night being, Coach, I know you don't like these questions right away, but what the hell happened in the red zone tonight?
If I said it like that, he'd definitely come back at you a little bit, but he'd probably do it like in a fun way. But if you just asked him like legit, like, you know, Coach, I know getting the win's the most important thing, but you guys really struggled in the red zone. What are your thoughts on that? I know you haven't watched the film yet.
So you would have added that first part, which I know getting the win. Okay.
And you got to add the disclaimers that you know he's going to talk about, right? And you know, well, getting the win's the most important part. So you have to say, we know getting the win's the most important thing. We know you haven't watched the film yet, but you guys only scored 2 touchdowns in the red zone out of 6 attempts. What are your thoughts? I think he would have gave a very good answer. Yes.
TLC, are you in or out on that being a appropriate question number 1 out of the gate on Saturday night?
What happened in the red zone?
Yeah. In or out on the being appropriate in the ranking of the order of questions? Would you have been in or out on that being the first question? Number 1 team in America, 37-9. You win going away. The first question of the presser is, boy, you guys did not look good in the red zone tonight. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think it's fair game. My follow-up question to you guys, being that you've been in more press conferences than me, I know that with the Tuesday pressers, everybody gets one question. Is post-game the exact same?
Not everybody.
You can, even if they say one question, you can't.
Tim May got stiffed last week.
You can ask a follow-up, but yeah, it's pretty much they want you to just ask one at the post-game. And here's another thing I'll point out. It's you don't know. You go in, if you're a reporter, you go in knowing, here's a few questions I want to ask, just in case my main question gets asked, I have backup. But you have your main question. You don't necessarily know you're going to be the first one called on.
Yeah.
So you don't, like, formulate your questions thinking, well, I got to make sure if I'm the first one called on, I don't ask about this. You just have your questions. Whenever they call on you, they call on you. If this was like a one-on-one interview and you got to ask them 10 different questions, maybe you don't lead off with that. Maybe you do. I don't know. But, yeah, Ryan Day handles these things very well.
Yeah, I don't think you owe it to any of the coaches to set a tone that they're comfortable with because you're on limited time yourself.
According to you, you don't even owe them the word coach.
No, because we're 2 adults, so we can just be Cole and Ryan.
That's exactly right. I think most people do call him Ryan, like, because he's not our coach. You know, some people just call him coach, and I've done that too. Even though normally I call the head coach, I wouldn't even call Urban. When Urban first got here, people were like, "How you guys are just calling him Urban and not Coach Meyer?" It's like, yeah, to us he's Urban. We're not on his team, but I get it. But I'll slip up sometimes and say, "Coach, can you get into red zone offense?" You know, but typically I just call him Ryan. Yes.
It's about to be 3 against 1 here when Bobby joins the show next.
All right. Here's what I would say. We've talked about this. I'm glad we went back to it because you weren't here for it. Originally, this started with that he will never refer to a coach as coach because they have no authority over him. He didn't play for them. He's not a current player. This was more of an anti-authority thing. I'm okay with calling a coach by his first name. That's okay. But he was the against ever calling him coach if you didn't play for him. This wasn't a either or. This was an absolute no-go on coach. That's the difference.
In this setting, yes. Because
in this setting.
I think that
you bumped into him at the station, or you wouldn't say, hey, coach. Like, that's bad?
I think he means on the air, right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
You meant in any setting possible.
I tried to give you an out, and Anthony's like, nope.
He softened it, and I will tell you, I've actually come back to your side a hair on this, and my loophole is if you have any kind of personal relationship, any kind, professionally or personally, if you've known him, talked to him, he knows you by sight, by name, the whole deal, I think it's okay to be able to. You can call him by his first name. You don't need the. I think coach is just a professional way because that's his occupation, and I kind of like it. Well, and I don't think. But you were more of the.
That's where I disagree.
He doesn't deserve that.
I think coach is kind of informal, and so for me, I think that fans like if a Buckeye fan called him coach when they saw him because they kind of feel like they're a part of the team in a way. Exactly. Yeah. I would get that. In fact, I don't want to undercut myself here.
Do it.
If I saw Marcus Freeman, I'd probably call him coach because in my mind, I'm on that football team, even though I'm not. But in this
he
setting,
has no authority over you.
But I told you, I said people who are in the media have to buck up for the interview a little bit and put themselves on a level playing field with the coach that they're interviewing. So I'm saying he should be able. Ryan would probably call me Cole, and I would call him Ryan in this setting because I would want to set a level playing field so that way it feels like it's all fair game. So you don't have a situation where Brian Kelly's like, "How dare you ask that question?" That's so inappropriate. Just for the sake of it being a level playing field.
Just don't call him by just his last name, right? Knight.
Hey, Knight.
Hey, Knight. What's up? What's up, Knight?
Knight was already.
What's up, Knight?
Knight was already teetering on the brink.
Oh, yes.
That just threw him over the top.
Well played. Yeah. Well played on that one. Yeah. Teetering on the brink.
All right, keep going.
Well, here you go. Speaking of Notre Dame, in or out, Notre Dame will be a college football playoff team.
I am out because I do think 10-2 Notre Dame would get in, but even that is not a sure thing. What if Miami drops off a little bit? What if A&M drops off? All of a sudden, those great losses aren't great losses. So, and I do think they're going to slip up once. I don't know if it's going to be USC, NC State. They'll probably be favored in every one of their games. So I will say no, they won't make it. I believe I saw their percentage right now is 20%. So I'm going with the odds. I'm going to say no, Notre Dame will not make it.
They better hope USC keeps winning. They need USC to beat Illinois on the road. They need USC to beat Michigan. Something has to happen good for USC before they play them.
What about if A&M and Miami both finish as top 10 teams, and that's those are their only 2 losses?
They need a quality win somewhere.
Yeah, I hear you.
They won't have one.
Yeah.
Their best wins will be 2 losses.
Yeah.
That's a horrible argument, even if you're Notre Dame.
Penn State gets away with that every year.
They play Ohio State. The odds say no, but boy, squeaking in as a 10-2 Notre Dame team, 12 seed, the committee's going to want them. The brand.
If you tell me for sure they're 10-2, I say they make it.
The odds say they will go 10-2, right?
They'll be favored. I don't know if the odds necessarily add up that they will. That it's over 50% chance that they'll
go 10-0.
Me? Yeah. I mean, I hope so.
You get USC at home. It's a night game.
We're definitely better than everybody, but I'm a firm believer in football. You cannot play your best every single week. Some game has to be your worst game. And so the question is, does Notre Dame lose that worst game? I don't think they've played their worst game, which is not reassuring for them.
No, but they lost to 2 good teams by very small margins.
And C.J. Carr does look good, so that would give me a lot of hope because he's just going to get better and better.
What we need to find are the betting odds on the playoffs on Bet365.
It's More so no than yes. Because I did check that earlier.
So you have to pay some juice to bet them to make the playoff?
I would imagine so, because I saw they have a 20%. Now, this was not betting. This was like ESPN's projection. They had them at 20% not. They had a 20% chance of making it and 80% of not making it.
Minus 300, they don't make it.
Oh.
I know.
What are they to make it?
Plus 235.
I would take it. I think there's better
value there is interesting.
I would take it.
If it's just a yes or no question, I mean, obviously the odds are with you to say no.
All right. Are you in or out on sending food back at restaurants?
I'm typically out on it, but sometimes you almost have to. I was forced to at the casino one time because the steak was so bloody, it was ridiculous, and I did not want to send it back. And then
I think they
made me send it back.
Okay, that helps. There's a difference between if it just wasn't cooked enough to your liking versus I can't eat this. Meaning it's bad. Like, there's a difference between, hey, can you just, run it through again or something. Like
Scotty and I ordered a steak. We each ordered it medium rare. Mm-hmm. They forgot about it. They forgot about it. And then Scotty reminded them. Then it came up 5 minutes later. Both our steaks came out. And they were both like, the cow was still alive. And I was like, no, I'm not going to send it back. I just don't do that. And then one of the managers came over, and Scotty was sending his back, so we ended up sending him back. So there you go.
You bundled the send back.
We did. We bundled the send back. That was a first one. Yes, that was a first. But you would not believe how bloody this. And I like my steaks bloody. This was a little too bloody.
Sunday bloody sun. All right, we come back with Bobby Carpenter next. 2 minutes. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Ford versus Ferrari. It's the ultimate showdown, and it's coming to Valley Ford of Columbus. Experience the thrill of Ford GTs and Ferraris for your up-close viewing at the Ultimate Car Show this Friday, September 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. Everyone's invited to marvel at these iconic machines and enjoy live music and food trucks. Show off your special car, too. All makes and models are welcome. Register at the show or online, valleyfordofcolumbus.com. It's the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Be there.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I have the greatest lawn in the neighborhood every single year. And the reason why is water and Weed Man. Good news, I'm only selling you one of them. Fall is the perfect time to improve your lawn for next year. The work you do or don't do now is directly reflected next spring. If you want a beautiful spring lawn, it starts now, not next April. Now through the end of September, mention the promo code Common Man and get a free blanket weed control with the purchase of a full program. For a free quote, go to weedman.com. That's weedman.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest appears at time of inception with approved credit.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, my man, Robert J. in the house. Where would you put The Last Castle in Robert Redford's movie catalog?
I know we had this conversation, Rothman, one time. Maybe we never did. By the way, I'm curious why you had to pawn your Emmys, because you're a guy that I think would do whatever it takes to make sure you could keep them, if you know what I'm saying. Catch my drift, if you will. Last Castle. I watched Last Castle. I think I was up in Bristol, Connecticut, and I want to say it just kind of came on. It was during the day. I was up there like on a Thursday. It was maybe came up Thursday. It was a Friday. There were no games on yet. I remember watching that thing, and I had never seen that before. Now, I've seen, The Sting and Brubaker and a lot of his classics there, but I got to put it in the top 5, man. I really liked it. It was kind of one of his later roles, and one of his later bit where he was still like the lead and the star, and the movie was built around him. I really liked it though, because that was in the early '90s that came out.
No. This is. I think my memory for you may be better than your own. I think you saw this in some sort of team movie with Tress. Didn't you guys watch this during a season or something? Or did you catch it in high school? I thought you saw this as a group.
For the group. Well, the thing was with Tress, we used to break down. Maybe I did. Maybe I saw it initially then and then rewatched it. We used to watch a lot of movies. It would be like AJ Schleggs. We used to get Ashton Yabodi in there, Brandon Mitchell, Rob, Chick Harley. And Chick, we go to the Blackwell, and I know it sounds like a lot of dudes for just a little bit of bed space. But
It's a symphony of dudes.
It really is. Some people would call it a parade even. And so he would have one of the portable DVD players with the 3-prong, the black, the yellow, and red that you'd plug into the TV in your portable DVD player. And I think in between a lot of the Tom Cruise flicks that we would watch, I think we may have watched it like that. And it wasn't a full team, but it felt like that because we were all so close in proximity.
Did you ever feel in the years you were playing, when you were playing BG after a 3-overtime game against Phillip Rivers, or the Marshall game, I think in 2004 comes up to me. When you were playing in BG would be a better example as an in-state, like in Ohio school. Did you ever view those as trap games, or were they less intense, more intense? How did you view those kinds of games?
So, we played Kent State, I think, my freshman year. When you're early in your career, I was excited for those games. Because I was like that, my first 2 years, I'm going to get to play a lot. My sophomore year, I was end up starting halfway through, and I was playing a good amount. This is probably a story that's, I guess the statute of limitations has passed. It's 22 years. We were playing BG, and I think it was kind of the first week the students got back on campus. I think we started school that next Monday or Tuesday, so everyone was back. So that Thursday night before the game, Rothman, the vampires were out roaming around. So I may have been out pretty late on that Thursday. A bunch of people came back that you hadn't seen for a while, get a couple late night calls, and that honestly helped me focus up because I'd go to the game next day, Friday. I would usually not go to the movie, take a nap, have meetings, go back to sleep again. You'd wake up for that noon banger and be like, all right, let's get it going. Let's get this thing in the bank so then we can get back out of here and go party with some of those students who we were hanging out with on Thursday night.
Josh Harris, Westerville North. He had a last drive against you guys.
In high school. Yeah. I actually played really good in that game. I think I caused a fumble, maybe had a sack on Josh. But it was a tight game. No doubt about it. I think we beat them by maybe
touchdown.
A score.
Yeah, it was a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and they had the ball in the shoe. And I'm thinking this might be the greatest story in the history of Columbus suburban high school football if Josh Harris of Westerville North comes in here and wins this game. But you guys, obviously, I think they only got the ball with under a minute left. You don't have a lot of time, but yeah.
To quote the great Jack Nicklaus, whose team are you on?
Yeah, exactly.
And Urban had just left Bowling Green after the previous season. That was his first year not at Bowling Green. Yeah, when you put Utah on the map.
I can't think. The guy's name, I think, was Cole Wagner or something. They had this little.
Oh, yes.
The little Alaskan slot receiver, and he caught about 15 and a half passes on us that day. I'm not sure how many. He was popping in and out everywhere, Rothman. He was like Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman combined before anyone knew who they were. And that was when Urban said when he got there, he goes, Bowling Green, we didn't have a lot of great players. So he's like, we just worked half the field and put our two good receivers on the same side, and then we flip them and put them on the other side to work the other part of the defense because we couldn't get 4 or 5 good players. But, yeah, I played against Josh in high school at Westerville. He was a heck of a player, and we actually would have I've seen him since in Columbus and had great conversations about that game.
Hey, Bob, Caden Curry's a guy I want to ask you about, senior defensive end. He's having a really good start to his final year for the Buckeyes, a guy that waited his turn, maybe didn't even get a lot of offseason hype. I think a guy like you probably knew he was going to show out as a senior. A lot of talk about Kenyatta Jackson, who looks good. I really like their defensive ends overall with Bo Atkinson, Logan George, C.J. Hicks, Zion Grady. But, man, Caden Curry is playing really well, and I feel good for him because he's a guy that he's played a decent amount during his career, Bob, but he's finally gets a chance to start, and he waited his turn, and he looks really, really good out there.
So every spring and every fall, all I would say is, like, we got to get Caden on the field. Like, he's just always around the football. You know, he was just always there, Bids, always making plays. And, you know, you see Kenyatta and him came in together, and KJ is 6'5". He's got 14-foot arms, 260 pounds, lightning quick. Like, he's the guy that you draw up in the video game. And everybody at Pro Day this year when he was working out with the DNs, they're all like, who's this? I'm like, I go, Kenyatta, they know about you now, bud, so you got to go produce. Like, it's going to be disappointing if you don't have a great year. But, like, Caden, you know, like you said, Zion Grady comes in, Logan George, Bo Atkinson. Like, he was kind of a forgotten guy. And here's the best part about him. He is the most selfless dude that you will find on that team. You know, he's playing defensive end. They're trying to say, hey, how can we, you know, we maybe are a little light at tackle. They bump him in. He's playing like 3 technique over the guard. Against that, in the goal line stand against Texas, like, he is playing in the A-gap. Like, he is playing right down there inside. And they've asked him to do things all up and down the line, and he does it all really well. And he's kind of their Swiss Army knife up front. It was awesome to see him getting player of the game and get some of that, you know, our recognition. Inside the Woody, everybody knows what he is. Like, he's one of the guy's favorite players because of just his selfless attitude and how hard he's worked. And, you know, him and KJ both, like, they could have complained. They could have left in this transfer portal. Why am I here? I'm a 4- and 5-star guy, and I'm not playing as much as I should have. But I think you see the fruits of this waiting and developing. And when you get your chance on a great team, you'll be ready to go. And you'd rather be an average player or a good player on a great team than a great player on a bad team, or in Nico Imaliava's case, an average player on a bad team.
Nico Imalivia? Yeah, exactly. All right, so final one, as we're with Bobby Carpenter, Morning Juice, 10 TV Plus, the Bobby Carpenter Show. Where do you stand, generally speaking, on players-only meetings? Do they work?
When they go well, they're awesome. Like, you look at what Ohio State had last year, and it was like players only +1. Ryan Day got the +1. That rarely is the case because a lot of times they just turn into group complaint sessions. You can use a better word for that. And people are kind of pointing fingers. I've been part of teams where we've struggled a little bit. They've brought it together, players only. And when you have mature players on your team, I think it's okay. So I'm not generally a fan of it, but if you have a really strong leadership group and a really tight team and you bring it in, guys say what needs to be said, and then they go back and they go to work. The problem is a lot of times it's just like the airing of grievances, and everybody just wants to say how it's not their fault and how everybody else needs to work harder, and that never works.
Where are you at on Bo Jackson? You know, a lot of people or a lot of fans are saying, oh, he should just be RB1 now. Like, where do you come down on that?
Two-way player, probably the greatest dual athlete player of all time. You look at what he was able to do, home runs, touchdowns. I mean, when we're going to go start going by Bo Jackson, who's in the argument for, like, greatest athlete to ever walk the earth, you better be pretty darn good. And I know they're really excited about him in camp coming out. I think they were hoping to get him in against Texas. And that's the thing, when you open with a team like that, it's hard to throw a true freshman in there that you've never seen play in a game for risk of not what he can do, but maybe what he can't do. And whether that's hold on to the ball or miss a block in pass protection, I think he's earned that trust now. Everybody's, well, crown him RB1. I mean, to quote Denny Green, well, go ahead and crown him then. You know, like he's got a little work to do, and they're going to keep, Brian said, the more he can handle, like as a little puppy dog, I'm going to keep filling your bowl, buddy. You keep eating more and more, then we're going to keep going with that. But I'm not just going to, you know, throw a whole stack of feed in front of you and expect you just to devour it the first time.
All right, my man. Great stuff. I caught your drift. Or am I being obtuse?
Listen, nobody's being obtuse here, Rothman. It's, I think, Frederic Dumas, if you will. It's a story about a prison break. Put that in what was that, in the fiction. I said we put it in research.
I'm so happy that you that you actually got that quote. That's amazing.
Well, because Count of Monte Cristo is one of my Rothman, one of my favorite
that's
movies.
Good. Yeah. Well, the one I'm quoting is from Shawshank.
I know, but that's where they go. They reference the book. It's the internal reference. It's like Inception, going down deep. Don't rob me of my hate, Rothman.
I won't, my man. Good stuff. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Have a good one, guys.
Bobby Carpenter, the one and only on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. And is he the real deal? We'll answer that next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Trailblazer, only $198 a month. New 26 Chevy Equinox, $239 a month. Or a new 26 Silverado, just $399 a month. Visit CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
It's Thursday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Dolphins and Bills live from Buffalo. Fan coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
decision.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
So I still don't believe that the world of college football really has caught on yet to Julian Sayin. I know that we had the Texas game, and it was a lower scoring game. It wasn't a world of highlights. It wasn't a big highlight reel. It was more slanted to the defense and how they handled Arch Manning. And I pointed out right after the game that I secretly believe that there was a lot more trust in Julian Sayin against Texas than people wanted to say. That was more, conservative game plan, just play to win the game, let your defense win it, low scoring. Carnell Tate makes a circus grab. I think there was some secret trust in Sayin based on the plays he called on third down and also where they were on the field when he let him do that. Heartline got a great question yesterday from Clay at the end about, do you now feel the freedom that you get to call what you want? And, Brian said, hey, it's a collaboration. Even Ryan Day, when he's asked about it, when he said it's a collaboration. And then, the natural follow-up would be like, so are you winning the battle? When there are battles. How many battles have you had? I want to call this, but he wants to call that, and who wins it? That would be fun to know where they stand on that. But I think the untold story right now is Julian. Now, Julian's going to have to go on the road to Washington in a couple of weeks here, week and a half, and then we'll get to see him on the road, a little different deal. But I don't think anything right now could match the pressure he probably faced in game 1 against Texas in front of 100,000 at home, knowing that he was the heir to the throne at quarterback, and we learned how close the call was and how they felt about Lincoln and where they feel about Lincoln. So before you answer that, let's hear from Ryan Day on Julian Sayin's just mechanics on the trajectory.
Oh, new system. Here we go. Got to bring it down.
He does a nice job with the trajectory of the ball, because the more trajectory you have on a ball, the more margin of error you have. So actually the first go ball to Jeremiah, we usually like to throw that about 42 yards, what we call in a red line, which is an imaginary line, 4 yards from the boundary. That was well done. On the 2 post throws, I thought both guys set on those angles, and he found the angle. But I think when you have such, fast guys, you have to be able to get that ball out there, and you got to put a lot of height on it and let them adjust to it.
Yeah, he's been very accurate throwing the deep ball, no doubt about it. I don't think he's missed one. So, Julian Sayin, there's no doubt about his arm talent, no doubt about it. And I think his poise, he looked rattled a couple times against OU, which surprised me because, and I give Ohio University credit, because my biggest takeaway from the Texas game about Julian Sayin was his poise. He was very accurate that game. He was 13 of 20. That's with 4 drops, or he would have been 17 of 20. But, man, for making your first start in that environment, he looked as cool as a cucumber. So I think the Buckeyes are in very good hands with Julian Sayin.
Yeah, there were just a couple moments in that game where he didn't see a guy in the flat early on, the 4th and goal, and then gets tripped and they get stopped there. The other one is where he was getting sacked and kind of unloads the ball, and that's the one you got to eat. So...
Yeah, the tipped interception, I really don't give him. Now, you could say, well, that's the problem of having a 6'1" quarterback, but 6'1's not that short. It's not like he's people are asking, is he really 5'11"? If anything, he's closer to 6'2" than 6'1".
With the cleats and helmet, he's at least 6'1", right?
He's definitely 6'1". I hear what you're saying.
He's over impressed, I think, to this point. This is beyond, I think, expectations of what people had or what people thought would happen. He's been very accurate. Yes, he had a decision against Grambling that, okay, fine, from the left hash mark to the right pylon. It's probably not a throw you want to make against a great team because that's a pick 6. It just is. But he's been great. He's going to have to experience more. You should want him to experience this. You almost want him to not be perfect. Like, I want him to experience, because the only way you can learn from things is to make some bad decisions. Because if everything's going perfect and all you're doing is trying to improve and not learn, because those are two different things, I love the fact he's experienced a couple tough moments.
Yeah, if all of a sudden his first time like under pressure really was like at Michigan in the finale, because everything was just smooth sailing, he was just tearing everybody up, no really tough moments in the second half, he might not be prepared, for when things perhaps get tight against Michigan this year. So yeah, I think it's good that he's had some ups and downs, and Ohio State's sitting there number 1 in the country and 3-0.
All right, TLC, what else you got to spin over there?
Matt Patricia is impressed with Arvell Reese, as are most.
Yeah, Arvell has a skill set that he can do a lot of things really well. Early in the game, he had a nice pass breakup too. He can run, and he's really long, so he can cover those guys. And just trying to pull a little bit of uncertainty in the offense to figure out what exactly is he doing on this play. I think that's the biggest thing that you can do with guys that have that multiple ability, on the field. Pass rush, he's certainly dynamic if you can get him around the quarterback for sure, and he's big and long and can run and chase these guys down. So just continually asking him to do different things. He's done a great job of just understanding that and being put in positions. There's a lot of calls on the field actually where he might be changing some of the assignments based on different looks that we have, and his ability to do that has really been outstanding. So you like those pieces on the field.
These linebackers are incredible, Anthony. They're incredible. I think this is the best linebacking trio that we've seen since probably our boy Bob and AJ and Schleggs, because you look at Peyton Pierce, what he's able to do, and Riley Pettijohn would be the fourth guy. But with Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, man, and Matt Patricia said it was love at first sight when he saw those guys. I love big linebackers that can run fast. So it's really cool seeing what Patricia, the aerospace engineer, is doing confusing teams. They're doing so many things pre-snap. It's very impressive what he's doing with this defense. Despite losing 8 draft picks off the defense from last year, they look like they might be the best defense in the country once again.
A lot of talent there. And they're confident, and he's coaching them up. They're putting them in the right place. They're athletic. It's not a lot of worry right now. They're just instinctually, they're very good. So keep building on that. But he was a guy that was going to pop anyway. Like everyone knew it. That this offseason, it's like probably he was the number 1 guy we talked about, Arvell Reese. He definitely is the real deal. We come back, hour number 3 on the way, and Dabo getting defensive. Is he right or wrong? We'll dissect that one too. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Matty Ice here. Football is back, and it also marks the kickoff to huge savings at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. Just imagine riding up to your tailgate party in a brand new Silverado from McDaniel. And McDaniel GM Superstore has been family-owned and operated for over 100 years. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together Let's drive.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Common Man here. I want to tell you about my guy, Bob Capace, owner-operator of Worthington Jewelers for the past 25 years. If your only experience is going to the mall for jewelry, Bob and his team will blow you away. Service, quality, and a great price. The store is busy all the time because people keep coming back. True story. My 8-year-old daughter says to me, "When can we go see Mr. Capace again? He's nice." Yes, he's nice. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Ford versus Ferrari. It's the ultimate showdown, and it's coming to Valley Ford of Columbus. Experience the thrill of Ford GTs and Ferraris for your up-close viewing at the Ultimate Car Show this Friday, September 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. Everyone's invited to marvel at these iconic machines and enjoy live music and food trucks. Show off your special car, too. All makes and models are welcome. Register at the show or online, valleyfordofcolumbus.com. It's the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Be there.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Baseball today, Reds and Cardinals in progress from St. Louis. Brady Singer on the hill for Cincinnati against Andre Palante for St. Louis. Tonight, Guardians are at the Tigers at 6:40. Cleveland's Gavin Williams faces Detroit's Jack Flaherty. Cards 2.5 games out of the third AL wildcard spot. 5.5 games back of the Tigers in the AL Central. Seattle's Cal Raleigh hit his 55th and 56 homers Tuesday night, passing Mickey Mantle for the most in a season by a switch hitter. NFL, New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields was ruled out for Sunday's game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers while in concussion protocol. Tyrod Taylor will replace the former Buckeye. In golf, former Ohio State golfer Neil Shipley returns to the OSU Scarlet Course Thursday for the Korn Ferry Tour's nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hour number 3, Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, the former Buckeye great Matt Finkus, 2:30. Talk about this defense and what they can be and the feeling of going back to back. All right, this is fun stuff. We heard from Brian Kelly earlier in the show. Dabo Swinney has had a ton to say about the criticism of his 1-2 start to the season. And a lot of people are thinking that he is also a guy who's ready to kind of be off the rails here pretty soon. And he is doing what a lot of guys do that have pride, ego, all that stuff. And so he's trying to bark back at what he would deem his haters right now. And a lot of people are saying, as the kids say, he's crashing out. And here is his. Can you set up when this was? What day? This was this week.
I think yesterday.
All right, so he's far removed from the game. So he doesn't get the same benefit that Brian Kelly gets, which is going to a podium right after a game. Now, Brian Kelly won, so he probably should be in a little better mood. Dabo, I understand why he would be kind of teetering right now, because he expects a lot out of his team and a lot of himself, I imagine. That's where most coaches that are somewhat level-headed lean, that they know the questions they're going to get. They already know going in. So they can either use it as, I'm going to give them something today, or I'm not going to let them get to me today. And I'm going to fall on the sword a little bit and say all the classic cliches. I've got to coach better. I've got to put my players in better positions. We're going to do that. The season's not over. We're going to fight. I love my guys. They're going to fight. Nobody's quitting here. Anybody want to quit on us? There's the door. Like, he could do that if he wanted to. He went the other way. Here it is.
If they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on the way, because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory, in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. This is a program built to last. Always has been. Always will be. And I would just say, if you give up on us if you don't believe in us because we've lost 2 games down to the last straight and we're one, you didn't believe in us anyway, so it don't matter. You wasn't all in anyway. If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like, you're freaking all in. And hey, listen, I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all gonna have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach.
No one says you can't coach. No one says you're a bad coach. Nobody's taking those championships away from you. You know what they're doing right now? They're judging him based on whether you're overachieving or underachieving this season. That's it. No one is saying that if you're having a bad season that you suck as a person or a coach. No one's saying that. You were looked at as a team that had a lot coming back. You were the 4th-ranked team in the preseason. I didn't hear him at the podium before the season saying, we don't deserve that. I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that either.
I didn't hear him say that, hey, I don't know who's ranking these things, but we got a lot to prove this year.
And a lot of people, Anthony, were picking them to win the national championship. You're right. They were 4th in the polls, and yet a lot of people picking them to win the title. And I think, I'll have to look this up, I think they had the 2nd best odds to make the college football playoff, largely because they're playing in the ACC and not the SEC. But they do have a tough schedule, obviously. Yeah, and even their win was a little shaky, or a lot shaky. They were down 16-0 against Troy. So you're right. It's we know Dabo's done a great job at Clemson. You win 2 national championships at Clemson. Like, he's done a great job. There's no doubt about it. But the program has fallen off since then. I think they're a little lucky to make the playoffs last year because a lot of the same smoke was coming out last year, and he was getting defensive. And now you start off 1-2, and your 1 is a very shaky win, and everybody was picking you in the top 10. Yeah, it's a reaction to them vastly underachieving this year, and Klubnik looks like he has regressed from last year. He was a lot of people are saying Klubnik was going to be a first-round pick and all that. You can't find a mock draft that has him as a first-rounder now. So substandard quarterback play. I think Lincoln Riley's younger brother has not been the offensive coordinator they expected. I kind of hear what Dabo's saying, but he just comes across like he's whining. He at least is more, I will say, I don't know if you agree with this or not. I think he's more likable than Brian Kelly. But but they kind of remind me. They both are thin-skinned. You can't say I have thick skin. I don't listen to what anybody says, and then talk about your haters. It's like shake it off, Dabo. Shake it off.
He is. This is classic. This is classic stuff. That his only defense to how they're playing this year is that he's been good, and that you're spoiled, and that success at Clemson shouldn't be an entitlement. That you should be basically thanking him for even making you relevant. And that may all be right, but you can't sell that right now. And I think who said this? It was Swagoo or somebody on ESPN said, he's in his feelings right now because
Yes.
he's reaching into the past. And he knows better than that, because what he wants is to be apparently absolved of a poor start and possibly a bad year because of what he's delivered. That's what he was saying there.
Basically, that you're right. I mean, that is what he was saying.
Basically,
look what Clemson was before I got here. Look what I've turned it into. Yeah,
Aren't I allowed to have a bad
mulligan?
year or a bad start?
Yep.
And they may still be able to right the ship and beat Florida State. And maybe he's smart enough to be setting this up as a circle the wagons, lock down, all the haters stay out, avoid the noise. I'm going to be the guy that sets us up for the comeback here. I don't know if he really believes that. He finally got some transfers.
Yes.
Like he finally did. That's what kind of slowed down the ship a little bit. And they look good. The spring, everybody was touting them. You mentioned the early 26 mock draft had a lot of guys listed. He should have his best team in the last 5 years. That's what everyone was saying, and he wasn't disputing it before the year. Okay, they lost a tough game to LSU, and I didn't like the way he also went to the podium after LSU and said it was a crappy game. It was a final exam on the first week. They scored 65. We scored 58, meaning like they got a C- or D+, and we failed. You took a lot away from their win. I thought LSU. By the way, do you have the clip from Brian Kelly? This may be tough for you to find.
I don't have it.
Okay.
Responding to it and saying, he must not have seen the second half. That actually was funny.
We actually owe Brian Kelly one, right, because of today.
Yeah.
I think we owe him that because I thought that was one of Brian Kelly's best moments.
Yes.
Was that presser after that, because LSU was outstanding in the second half. LSU had to replace 4 starting offensive linemen. They were going up against perhaps the best defensive line on the road. Everyone loved Clemson's defense in their front. Nussmeier was outstanding in the second half, was great. They were A+. That was a great comeback by them, and he took it away from them. He did. Now, it's okay. He's competitive. Your original question is, what do you think of him? I like a coach that cares. I like a coach that wants to win. He has the passion. There's nothing worse than a coach that just has no pulse. Now, I like guys that are somewhat level-headed, but I'm going to leave room for emotion and being human. And he cares and he wants to win. But he's off base here, touting his resume when we're dealing with the here and now. You get paid. How much does he get paid? $10.5 million a year? $11 million a year? Maybe more?
Has to be right around there, yeah.
This is what you owe them. You got your salary to where it is based on your past performance. That doesn't mean you just live off of it. And so if you are getting paid $10, $11 million a year, you have to have the expectation of that you have to be better. Now, they're a team, again, that I like Notre Dame. I probably won't write off. I have no idea what the pulse of the team is right now. They lost a game to Georgia Tech on the road. They're going to get Syracuse. They're going to go face Belichick, whatever. Boston College, SMU. That Duke team they'll get at home. Who knows what they'll be by then. And then they get Florida State at home. He's got a lot of runway to rebuild confidence. He's already got talent. So he's either setting this up for a great I got you moment, like you guys all wrote us off, and here we are. He's either setting up for that, or they win these games, they don't look that good, they wind up losing to Florida State, and then he's toast. And then who knows what. Because you're not buying him out. He's got a $60 million buyout.
And it's Clemson. He's been great for Clemson. I know, we probably aren't big Dabo fans in Columbus, but seriously, I mean, he's done a great job at Clemson. But to your point, you can't just say, I deserve a mulligan this year. I know I'm paraphrasing. I deserve a mulligan for the start of this year because I've been so good in the past. It's like, no, I mean, you've got to do better than this. You've got to do better than this. Starting out 1-2 in your one is a game you were losing 16-0 against Troy. Got to be much better than that. I mean, Phil Steele, I think he does a great job. He had, in whatever order, Clemson and Penn State as the two most talented teams in the country this year. Okay, so if you're one of the most talented teams in the country and you start out 1-2, I mean, you deserve the criticism. And again, part of me understands what he's saying. It's one of those things that you'd want to say, but you probably shouldn't say. Like, look how good I've been. You guys want me to leave? You want to go back to how it was before I got here? Yeah. Good luck to you. I get it, but it just is a bad look.
All right. I found that clip. We'll play it next.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll come back. Guess what else is back on the chopping block, at least from a narrative standpoint? A certain play in the NFL. We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Get an Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get an Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get an Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get an Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get an Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get an Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Pub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Join the Reds when they battle the Cubs in a 4-game set September 18th through the 21st. Bring your furry friend to the game on Thursday for the last Bark in the Park of the season, thanks to Good and Fun, Dreambone, and Kroger. Don't miss a spectacular fireworks show after the game on Friday the 19th, presented by Paycor. Plus, Sunday the 21st is Fan Appreciation Day, with prizes to lucky fans throughout the game. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
Matty Ice here for McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently bought a brand new Chevy Trax for McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $21,995. And with over 40 in stock, you know you'll find the perfect one for you. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Packers from the land.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick at 1.
Your Central Ohio home of the Browns, The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A hot summer day for us today. Make sure you stay hydrated with those afternoon workouts. Daytime highs getting into the upper 80s with plenty of sun. For tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s. We'll see some upper 50s as well with mostly clear skies, and then even warmer on Thursday with our highs in many spots getting right around 90 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time because new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. All right, I'm going to stay all in on Ohio State going over 10.5 wins in the regular season. That means I get one get-out-of-jail-free card, don't get the second, and I'm going to parlay that with just a more of an emotional fun bet with Team USA winning the upcoming Ryder Cup. So if I have Ohio State over 10.5 wins and USA winning the Ryder Cup, that gets me to plus 160. Fun little bet, more of a heart bet. It's fine. That's what I got my eye on right now.
Yeah, the Reds have done a good job of losing a lot of games recently. Right now, they lead the Cardinals 3-1 in St. Louis. If you believe the Reds are going to blow this game, you can get plus 230 on the money line for the Cardinals, which I might or might not have just done. A little reverse psychology. So, yeah, plus 230 Cardinals money line right now.
By the way, the NFL offers throughout the season on Bet365, they're awesome. Get the $10 safety net bet on Thursday Night Football. Get a piece of that $365,000 jackpot on Sunday Night Football. And then, of course, the early payout offer, which is on NFL and college. Instant payout if the team you bet on goes up 17, even if they lose. It's outstanding. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 21 or older. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply, in-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, before we get to the old tush push, I owe you this Brian Kelly clip. This is when he responded to Clemson coach Dabo Swinney, who put their game on a grading scale following the Week 1 game.
Dabo Swinney said that this was like a final exam on day one of class, and said that he would have given LSU a 65 and Clemson a 58 because neither played great. Just wondering how you would have graded or assessed the team in their first game of the year.
Thought we dominated them in the second half. So he's either a really good grader for, giving himself a 58, or he's a really hard grader on us, or he didn't see the second half, which that might be the case. He might not have wanted to see the second half.
That was pretty good.
Basically, Dabo after that game was like, they sucked and we sucked. They sucked maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian Kelly says Dabo sucked at watching the second half. So
he probably didn't want to watch the second half.
College football is outstanding. It's still great. All right, we get to. I do feel this tush push is going to get back on the voting block next season. Can't do anything about it right now. I think it's going to be gone. I think there's just too much fire still about it. Back in May, they held a vote on whether to ban it now. It's been legendary by the Eagles, copied by other teams around the league somewhat, and it only failed by 2 votes. So it wasn't a landslide. 24 votes were needed for the rule change. Only 22 teams voted to ban it. I think they're going to get enough next year. I feel they will. There are other teams that run it. The Bills ran it a couple times with Josh Allen. They voted to ban it. I've seen the Saints run it. They voted to ban it. The Niners have voted to ban it. They run it. I know the Bengals voted to ban it, and I think they ran an element of it against the Jags on the Browning touchdown, the game winner. There was an element of it. He went over the top, though. So anyway, the point is, I think it's going to be gone. I think now we're at a point where you're not taking away the advantage from Philly. You're just saying that you guys are taking every advantage with the false starts. And you guys, they're not calling it. The helmets are touching. The refs aren't getting a good line down the line to see whether there's offensive movement like they would on a normal play. So now it's not really about robbing Philly of doing it. It's about making sure that every play can at least be officiated to the best of their ability. And I think they're losing that ability.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think initially I was like, yeah, just keep it in, but yeah, I don't know how I feel. You made a really good point about how it should be a neutral zone infraction on every play. As you said, the helmets are touching, but they just can't tell.
Lining up in the neutral zone. Philadelphia left tackle Jordan Mailata is pretty much done with this narrative. He doesn't like it, but he's slanting it a different way.
So you guys ran it 7 times Sunday. 7 times. It's a lot of talk on 7 times on. It's on a lot of talk on national TV the last 2 days about it, and it's not all favorable.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on how it seems like there's a growing pushback from the national media against the Tush push.
Yeah. I understand it. I understand the outrage. What I don't understand is them using it as an excuse to why we won the game.
Right.
I think it's incredibly disrespectful to our defense and our special teams who balled out. My brothers on defense and special teams who balled out that game, who had our backs when we weren't moving the ball or we weren't doing anything. And so when I see those things, and they fly across my timeline here and there, and I do my best to stay off social media, but that kind of irks me a little bit. That pisses me off because we give so much to this game, and to kind of base off a short yardage play that is a football play, and say that we won the game off that, but not how our defense played, not how our special teams have played, putting us in those positions. I think it's bullcrap.
Yeah. The headline is the fact that they run it a lot, and they run it really successfully, and they run it with a hint of violation of the rules and all that. I don't know. I don't listen to the things he's listening to. He maybe is hearing that people are saying that's the only reason they won. I never would say that was the only reason they won. They made a great defensive play at the goal line. When Kelsey bobbled the ball and that saved the game because they're trailing there. Kansas City was in that game and they almost won the game. So, plus, I would debate a little bit on their defense balling out. They were up 2 scores and they let 2 deep balls go over their head. One for a touchdown. One guy was wide open. Like, what kind of defense could you possibly be in up 10 points in the final few minutes? How stupid is that?
Was that Jim Knowles against Georgia in the 2022 playoffs?
So his whole we balled out defensively, I think this is it's a biased take, and I get it. It's his team. But the reason you won it is not on one play, but that is a big reason why you can win is because you have a play that the other teams can't stop based on physicality and the rules being slanted in your direction.
AR, I wonder if the conversation would be different here with the Tush push. If for years that was not an illegal play. For years, it was illegal to do that. Then they allowed it. I think if forever this was legal in football, it wouldn't be so much of a discussion. I don't know where you come down on that. But because it was illegal for so many years, and then they made it legal, I think that's a big reason there's a pushback against the Tush push.
Yeah, the other thing that goes into my head is that if it wasn't a team that won it all,
that's true.
I don't know if there'd be as much narrative.
Right.
I don't know if this was a team that goes, I don't know,
like if the Jets
10-7 and gets bounced in the first round of the playoff, but they're good at the tush push, would we care as much?
That's
and
a great
I am
point.
trying to be objective because I like the Eagles. I have their defense in fantasy, as you can tell, and because they're frustrating, and I picked them to win the Super Bowl last year, not before the season when we're out there. And I believed in them, and I liked them. This is not they can only win because they're cheating. That's not this at all. but I'm believing that the narrative is stronger based on big city, big brand champs. Like, that has a lot to do with it. And he should admit that it does have a lot to do with their success. It's not all of their success. I think Jordan Mailata would have a better chance just standing on business with the football from the beginning of time has always been the physical battle. Our guys against your guys. We win that up front. I've been hearing that if you win in the trenches, you win a game my whole life. And we're doing that, and we're getting penalized for it. That's your defense, not everyone's saying stuff.
And I would say, and I think they have said this, everybody else in the NFL is able to do this if they want to. It's not like they said just the Eagles can do it, but nobody else can. If it's that easy of a play, why don't you do it against us?
Yeah.
So we got a standing on business out of you. And what was the one earlier that he said, as the kids are saying? I was impressed, whatever it was, but I forget what it was.
It was something like cracking.
Something with Dabo.
Was it cracking? He's cracking?
I've been around you. I've been around you.
Oh, gosh.
That's me.
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
He's getting cracked?
What was it? No, it was something with Dabo.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
I think it was even earlier than that.
Oh, wow.
It may have been Brian Kelly. But there was something earlier in the show where you dropped a young kid's phrase.
I think it was about Dabo.
I can't remember.
One of the, I bet somebody in the YouTube chat would know.
I was shocked that you knew what it was, whatever it was. I remember the feeling. I can't remember what you said, but I remember how I felt listening to it.
I felt the exact same way. Like, I didn't think Anthony would be like down with like the kids' lingo. It's not like he's a father. Like I have an excuse.
When I wore a younger man's clothes. Hang on. Why is standing on business a young person's phrase?
It's just in the new lingo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who created it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just know that it wasn't a thing like 2 years ago, and now everybody says it.
Okay, you and I are also, I think, in lockstep on another thing. You and I would like some phrases to go away.
Oh, yeah, because these get beat to death.
You and I think we're in the, I'm done with the give him his flowers.
I'm done.
I never liked that.
I'm done
the first
with
time
that.
I heard that, I was like, what is that?
Well, let's, the take
never,
on the play, on a play, on an act,
that. That's weird.
It's so played out. I'm done on the, what else is the other one? Oh, he's a wagon. Like, I'm kind of done on that.
Unless you're talking about Steve Hellwagon.
Well, no, I love Steve.
Yeah. No, but he's a I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, you said
he's
crashing out.
Yes, I said
crashing out.
Crashing out. So,
thank you to the YouTube. I knew somebody in the YouTube chat.
Thank you, YouTube. It never fails. I'm telling you.
Appreciate you.
It never fails. Somebody in the YouTube chat knows.
I knew it. You see, so we got a standing on business and a crashing out.
I'm doing my
same
best,
show.
folks.
Matty, he's going to be so proud of him.
He will be proud.
Him and let him know.
Yes, please. Maddie's off the grid. You know that. All right, we'll come back. Matt Finkus, the former All-American, joins us in 2 minutes to talk Buckeyes, Rothman and Ice and the Fan. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't miss the Ultimate Car Show tomorrow night at Valley Ford of Columbus. It's 4 GTs versus classic Ferraris, food trucks, live music, and tons of show cars. Everyone's invited. Drive your car in to show it off. This Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. at Valley Ford of Columbus.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Go hard!
You're Pilot Hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's the pride of Piqua. My man, just an absolute menace when he played in the 90s. Former All-American, All-Big Tenor. He's my man, Matt Finkus. Matty, good to have you back, bud. How you been?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Outstanding. You predated Matt Patricia in the pros, I'm sure, but did you ever run into him in any football circles prior to him getting to Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was hanging around a little bit up in New England with some of his days up there and crossed paths with him. And, we've since he's been back here, we've kind of reconnected and talked to quite a bit. And, he's a neighbor now, kind of lives around the corner from me. So, he's a great dude and great football mind, too.
Wow, street football must be outstanding up there. Let me ask you, okay, so this is a guy who inherited a lot of talent, but he's doing some great things with it. And right out of the gate, he gets that challenge against Arch Manning. Are you seeing anything that you didn't expect to see? What has opened your eyes?
Not really. I mean, I think that, I was telling guys before the season started that, Matt's a guy who he's the polar opposite of what we had here with Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles has a system. You have to fit into that system. You have to learn the system and coach to the system, and it's very system oriented. That's why I think you saw all the growing pains especially the first year, even into year two. Last year, obviously, everything was clicking for him, and a ton of talent didn't hurt as well. Matt comes from very much of the Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells tree, where you take the talent and you coach to that talent. Right. So, I mean, you've got a Sonny Styles, you've got a Caleb Downs. Maybe you're not as strong up front as you were last year with the 4 down guys, but you've got an Arvell Reese that you can do a number of different things with. And he's a guy who's going to create a defense around the talent that's there. And again, to his benefit, you've got guys like Caleb Downs and Sonny who are super high IQ football guys that are going to be able to help the other guys learn and get them in the right place and get them lined up. So, I think that he's a great fit for the college system and college scheme where you have to kind of adapt to what you've got. It's not like you're in the NFL and you can draft to a need. I mean, you can to a certain extent with recruiting, but, as guys develop, things change. So I like what Matt's doing here, and I think he's going to be really successful with it.
Caden Curry's a guy that's playing really well, Matt. He's doing your number 92 proud, and he's a guy that maybe people weren't talking about enough entering the year. Really waited his turn, played a lot, for his first 3 years. Had to wait his turn to start. He's playing really well out there, Caden Curry.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and that was the big question for me defensively coming into this is, you've got a lot of guys who had some playing time, and Caden probably had the most, he and Kenyatta coming off the last year. How were they going to perform? I mean, you had some real playmakers up front, both inside and outside last year. And how were those guys with not a lot of experience going to really perform? And I mean, for Caden, I think this last game against OU was a little bit of a coming out party for him. I mean, there was no huge impact plays, I would say, from the D line in weeks 1 and 2. But I think he really made some big plays there, and hopefully that boosts his confidence. And it takes a little time to get in the flow of that and get used to being kind of that regular starter out there. But I think that's the question. If they can develop a couple guys up front that are going to be playmakers, not just good guys that are going to be solid and hold their gaps and make tackles when they have to, but guys that are going to make plays when they need to. This could be a really scary defensive front. And Caden is right up there. I mean, the 3 guys that they're rotating on the outside when you throw Bo Atkinson in that as well. I like Bo. He's got a good changeup and very rangy. So I think that this could be a scary front once these guys get a little bit more experience under their belt.
I think it's a great point. I do. I think because they have so much on the back end, if they can, rush the passer, and it's not just getting guys on the ground and sacking guys, it's guys throwing under duress can cause so much. You guys did it in the 90s. You guys became such an opportunistic defense. I always liked using that word just because it felt like that you could disrupt and have chaos on any play if you wanted to. Do you like? So all the pre-snap stuff has been cool because he'll show a quarterback something, then he'll back out of it or do something different. But as far as them being aggressive defensively all year long, do you expect it to ramp up, or is that situational?
I think it's going to be really situational. I mean, there's times to be aggressive and there's times that you don't need to be aggressive. I mean, and again, we saw that with Knowles and, in some of the growing pains. I mean, 3rd and 15, you don't need to zero blitz. There's no need for that. I think that what you're going to see with this defense is very situational and picking and choosing your moments. And that adds to the confusion. I mean, football is a lot about tendencies and numbers, especially, today's day and age. I mean, you're getting tons of data, down and distance data for the offense. The offense is getting the same down and distance data and tendencies and where you're at on the field, how aggressive, what kind of blitzes are they coming with, what coverages are they doing, what fronts are they showing. So, I mean, to be able to mix that up and continue to try to confuse quarterbacks, which I think is one of Matt's big strengths of being able to, show things, move things around, play different coverages from different looks. I think that's really what you're going to see as the season progresses. And, you're going to have to be kind of trained to notice that it's happening, but it's going to be exciting to watch once we get into the latter part of the season.
Looking at the offense, Matt, red zone issues. It was just one game, but they were inside the red zone 6 times, only scored touchdowns twice. One game blip, or are you concerned about red zone offense?
No, I chalked that up to, a lot of new starters and, who's going to be our guy that's going to step up and be that dog and leader on the offense. I looked at what happened there and, okay, so you got stopped on 4th down, came out next time you kicked the field goal. If I'm Ryan on those next 2 drives, I don't care. I'm challenging my guys. You know what? It's 3 yards. You got to go get it. You need to go get it. I mean, and that's a little bit of a sink or swim moment for those offensive guys because, I mean, the reality of it is you're playing an inferior opponent. You should be coming out and dominating and getting out of there. Now, I know my junior and senior year when we played those guys, if we weren't sitting on the bench in the second half, we were pissed. That's just not, that's how we approach those games. When we played Rice or when we played Pitt or, back in the day we played Northwestern or Iowa or somebody crappy. I mean, if we weren't on the bench by mid-3rd quarter, there was a problem and there was going to be some accountability had on Sunday morning. But again, that's a group of guys that have been around and played for a long, long time. So I think that may have been the trap that they fell into last weekend, but it's a great teachable moment for them. Hey, you got to come out, and this is a long season as well. I mean, this is something you can teach those starters. We don't want you playing against OU, not the OU, the good OU out in Oklahoma, but the OU down the road in Athens. We don't want you playing against them in the 4th quarter. You should be sitting and resting because this is a 16-game season nowadays, and you've got to be prepared for that. So I do see it as a blip and kind of a teachable moment, but I would have liked to see Ryan kind of challenge the guys a little bit more and see what they were made of there in the first quarter.
Yeah. Listen, he was at that point, he's in a game at 13-9. CJ steps out. And he's like, I'm done with. I'm going to get a field goal here. I'm going to go up a touchdown. It kind of got back to the most important thing is winning the game. But I'm with you. It was an interesting decision that he had seen enough. He's going to kick there. What I think is very cool in your pride in Ohio State and all these years of being such a great player, you've helped create this new app behind the O. And I want you to give me a minute on that, on what you hope it turns into.
Yeah, so, I mean, we just kind of soft launched it here, but people can go and check it out right now. You can go, you can download it in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, and it's behind the O. You'll see the logo and the Ohio State colors and everything. And what we've developed is really it's an NIL tool. It's very much like a TikTok, and the way I describe it is it's content-specific TikTok. It's about Ohio State athletics. We've got student athletes who are contributing content of behind-the-scenes stuff that they're doing in their daily lives, all the time on there. We've got some reporters like, Tim May and Clay Hall, some of the old guys that we dusted off and brought them out, and they're doing some great reporting for us. But it's a chance for true NIL. And I think that's where I was never really involved in the NIL up until this point because it wasn't NIL, in my opinion. It was just pay to play. I think the direction that things are going now, it's leaning more that way. So we've created a platform. It's free for fans. It's all ad revenue, market-based. It generates NIL dollars for these athletes and for these kids, and especially a lot of the non-revenue sports who aren't part of the revenue share, who aren't, getting NIL deals. So this is a chance for them to get out there and to create some content, to give some people some behind-the-scenes look, and to generate a little bit of money. So I think this is it's something really cool that we've developed and come up with, and yeah, just hoping Ohio State fans are going to enjoy it. We've got a live streaming feature that's coming online here next week, so you're going to be able to get to see some really cool live stream stuff that's going to be coming out again from the student athletes and everybody. So go check it out. I mean, we've got our Big Ten champion gymnast Tori Vetter, who was in Spain training, and you can kind of follow her little path through Spain as the gymnastics team was down there, or all the guys that were down on the field, for the halftime celebration stuff. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's our tagline kind of is, and I'm sure you've heard the commercials there. We're running some on the fan, but it's free for fans. There's no paywall. There's no subscription. Just sign on every day, scroll for about 5-10 minutes, and you're generating NIL dollars for student athletes.
Good stuff, man. Congrats on that, and continued success. And we will talk soon. Thanks, Matty.
Sounds good, guys. Have a great one.
You too. Matt Finkus, the former All-American, All-Big Ten lineman, here with us on Rothman Ice on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We will come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. My name is Angie, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. How can I help you today?
Great. You're still there. It must be like 3 a.m.
We're always here 24/7. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, but I wanted to ask you about the best place to set up my router.
It's never too late. We'll have you up and running in no time.
Only Spectrum has 24/7, 100% U.S.-based customer support. It's only everything. Spectrum fiber-powered internet. It's the fastest and most reliable internet. Go to Spectrum.com to learn more.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC. An equal housing lender.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Dutch Boys Durafighter is an interior paint and primer in one with a top lasting formula. It provides great scrub resistance and durability with remarkable hide and a smooth finish. Save big on Dutch Boys Durafighter paint at Menards and start your next project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes. Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Scotty Vegas here. Smartest bet of the season? Bet on yourself. I needed a weight loss plan that fit into real life. Tailgates, road trips, kids' nights, and still lets you eat. Week 1 with Awaken 180, I was down 6. By the end, 45 pounds gone. That's with wings, chili, meatballs, sausages, all the good stuff. It's the Tailgate transformation. Structure, coaching, and food that tastes like a win. Make the smart play. Start your Tailgate transformation at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Football. Hockey, Could it be? Yes, it's Jackets time. Your Blue Jackets battle St. Louis in preseason action. Coverage starts Sunday at 4:45.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing and Drain Cleaning Services.
The Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
All right, a little truth time before that. The Rothman and Ice podcast, sponsored by our friends at Bet365. You miss anything from the program, check it out where you get your podcasts.
Amazing.
What, did I remember to say it?
No, you just did a good job.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man. Just
hey,
try to support my guy over
thanks,
there.
man. Just, I'll do a line from Almost Famous. Just make us look cool. That's all we want. That was a great line from one of my favorite movies, Almost Famous.
My line that I've been saying, especially with all the technology change-ups that we've been having this week, I've just been telling everybody, it's my job just to get us on the air. It's up to you guys to make the show actually good. And we're number 1, so you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Get us on the air.
Yep.
That is integral to the process. Sometimes we're not on the air and we're still doing a show.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Happens out at the shoe every now and then.
It does.
Well, I was on the board for that one, so I guess that's my fault.
We had Orlando Pace on, and all of a sudden there was no audio.
The Texas
and
game.
he just kept talking because he's a pro's pro.
It was amazing. He was hearing like traffic reports in his ear, and we just kept interviewing him. The Texas game, for people that don't know, the Texas game with game day there and Big Noon there and everybody there, there's no service anywhere. The lines are getting stretched. I don't know anything about bandwidth except the waistband. And so we were knocked off the air a couple different times. But when you're doing a show and you get knocked off the air, I've always felt that the right thing to do is to act as if you're on the air and you keep talking. Because when eventually we come back, there's going to be no warning. And you don't want to just come back to dead air and now say, okay, now go. You just keep doing the show and eventually it'll come back. And that's exactly what happened. So we were interviewing Orlando Pace, had him up on the set, and I'm hearing all the stuff that you had to play while we're off the air, which is weird. Why would I be hearing that if we're off the air? That's a weird question I have. But I was hearing something on the air, and it was a traffic report, and Orlando Pace is still answering a question. And I know he's hearing what I'm hearing, and I'm thinking, what is he thinking right now?
He's probably thinking, like, okay, that's not going over the air. That's just in my ear, was my guess.
Never said a word.
He did not break stride at all.
Did not break at all.
That's a Hall of Famer right there in every aspect.
That is accurate.
Take us home, Adam.
So we had a moment during Thing or Not a Thing on Bishop and Friends.
Okay.
And this is BC, so predates me, but I'll let you have a listen.
All right.
Yesterday afternoon, it was reported that Warner Brothers has given Heat 2 the green light for 2026. Michael Mann's
Wait, hold on. Well, there's a Heat 1? Is it? Get him off the show. Get him out of here.
I think they're calling it Heat 2.
Baker.
More Heat.
Get Bake out of here. Are you the movie? I don't know this movie.
Really?
No. Hold on. Okay, that's a thing.
Which one are we doing here?
I just went Pepe Sylvia. I don't even know how to go. You've not seen Heat?
No, I don't even believe I've ever heard of Heat.
I don't even know how that's possible. It's De Niro And Pacino, heist movie, Los Angeles. Michael Mann's the director. It's one of the best movies of the last 50 years.
Val Kilmer, too.
Is he one of the best movies of the last 50 years?
I don't think my boy Bo needed to throw that in at the end. One of the best movies of the last 50 years? All right. I'm going to back Baker on this, and that this is not a movie from the 90s that he should be ashamed that he hasn't seen because it has De Niro and Pacino in it. This is one of those classic over the top done crime dramas. While it is good, I can't. You know what this would have been like? Let's put this on a level playing field. Let's not say, "Oh, Ryan Baker, I can't believe you haven't seen Titanic." Like, okay, that one was an iconic movie.
Or speaking of De Niro and Pacino, how about you haven't seen Godfather? Okay, I could get there. I'm on Team Ryan Baker here. I have never seen it,
and I think, and not only. I just don't think it's one of those that, first of all, to his credit, to Ryan's credit, this is never on. This isn't Shawshank Redemption that's on every 3 weeks on cable. This isn't Saving Private Ryan or Good Will Hunting or something from the 90s that, wow, you haven't seen that? You know what this would be? And by the way, it's not even a cult film. This isn't even like Fight Club. This isn't even like saying, oh, I can't believe you haven't seen Fight Club, because that's a cult film. Heat is good, but it's not one that you'd say, I can't believe you. Like, I could probably say to him, I'm trying to think of movies from the 90s. I can't believe you haven't seen Forrest Gump.
I was just about to say that. That
would be one, because
both of our brains went there. Everybody saw Forrest Gump.
So kind of weird and wild and off the wall. But you know what? This is better. Actually, this goes to Bo's point, not on Pepe Sylvia, but this goes to, I would say I'm kind of surprised you haven't seen The Usual Suspects. That's on the same wavelength as like Heat. Like kind of a neat film. And okay, I'm surprised that slipped past you. But I think, or Goodfellas.
Yes.
I'm a little surprised you haven't seen. I'm thinking all the 90s, big ones.
Is it because you think both thinks that because he really loves the movie, or is it because,
which I'm fine with,
or is it because of the cast? You can't really argue with the cast.
I think it's both. I think he said it was one of the best movies of the last 50 years,
and you thought that was a little bit of an exaggeration.
I think that was a little bit, but he's not exaggerating about De Niro and Pacino in a movie as conflicting dudes, not on the same team, so to speak. Okay, I love it though. I love that he called him out. That I like Bo that he called him out, and I like that Ryan Baker came back and said, I don't think I've even heard of it. Forget about seeing it. I haven't heard of it.
That was a great line. There's a Heat one.
That was. We all started laughing when we heard that.
There's a great line in Burt Wonderstone where he goes,
there's a Heat one.
I didn't say I didn't know who he was.
It's funny because
I hadn't heard of him.
If you're listening carefully, you heard Bo get really excited, and then he got really excited because he had to pivot now to address Baker because he was so excited to address the movie. Now he's got to address Baker for having never heard of it before.
All right, coming up on Common Man and Timmy, Nicole Sheeran jumps in, name dropping with Jeff Rimmer. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock after the Coaches Show. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio